Hey everybody, how you doing? Well, that's good. Welcome to the PHLY Flyers Watch Along. That's right, we're back. It was a few minutes.
Did you miss us?
Did you? Charlie went and got. Charlie doesn't drink coffee. It's got to be water.
Oh, it's water.
Okay,
to be sure.
Got
my PHLY cup mug.
Oh, there you
little,
go.
Guy with the hand thing.
There you go.
Yeah,
and
we should give
are.
This guy a name.
We should. I think he has the hand is named Nux.
Okay, so
I think each.
Yeah, but Nux isn't a good name.
No,
he's got to have a better name than that.
We can come up with something. Especially like, I think
gotta
that's his name. Because we have there's one of those like hand guys, like foam finger guys for every city.
Okay.
And I don't like. We have Nasty Knuckles in this town.
Yeah,
it
feels like it's kind of encroaching on their space.
Yeah, and just
that's their thing. We have our own thing.
We got to come up with something.
We have nothing against the Nasty Knuckles guys. They're good dudes.
They're good, yeah.
But we just don't want to take their name. We got to come up with our own thing.
Why take from them when we can invent something even worse? Here we are in just a couple of minutes until puck drop. We are a YouTube TV household in here. So like it's very possible that this game has started already, but we are on the YouTube TV delay where it's a Taco Bell commercial right now. So it's a good time for me to tell you that we're brought to you tonight. This watch along brought to you by our friends at Coors Light. Choose chill, choose Coors Light. Drink responsibly, Golden, Colorado, all that stuff. But I'll definitely. Probably should have grabbed one before we started.
You might choose chill at some point in this game.
Good chance I'm going to have Ivan Fedotov is a net. I'm going to have to choose chill and then celebrate that decision with an ice cold Coors.
I do want to talk a little bit about Fedotov though, because we mentioned him briefly on the pregame show. But I do think like it's a bummer that Sam Ersson is banged up, and hopefully he doesn't miss too much time because he's very clearly the best goalie they have. However, even if he was healthy, I would have had no problem with them starting Fedotov in this game. Reason being is, at some point, and we talked about this on yesterday's show, at some point, the Flyers are going to have to make some roster decisions, especially given the fact that Emil Andre is playing so well that you just can't justify sending him down. So it means somebody else has to go down. Most likely, I think we generally agreed on this, most likely it's going to be one of the two goalies. Well, before Fedotov had that really good game in Tampa, you assume that they were probably going to find a way to get Fedotov down. You know, probably waive him. Maybe if you have the roster spot, maybe you can get him on a conditioning stint, because the conditioning stint, while it removes him technically from the NHL team, he's still technically on the NHL roster. However, Fedotov goes out there in a surprise appearance in Tampa because Kolosov's still recovering from a minor injury. Ersson can't go, whatever. Well, no, Ersson's still recovering from the injury. Fedotov gets injured in morning skate.
Tweak something,
in morning skate. So Fedotov has to play. He plays pretty well. So now you're in a position where you're like, all right, was that just a one-game fluke? Does this guy actually stink? It's just he had one good game, and sure, everything broke his way. Or has he turned the corner? Because if he's turned the corner, you probably want to keep him. I mean, you've invested 2 years in the guy.
Yeah.
Probably want to keep him up. However, there's always the chance that last week was just a one-game fluke and then he gives up 5 goals again. So tonight, to me, you mentioned during the pregame show about this season being a fact-finding mission. This is like a fact-finding game about Ivan Fedotov. If he has another solid game, I'm not asking for a shutout, but let's say he stops 28 of 31, gives the Flyers a chance, looks like a competent NHL backup goalie. Then I think you send Kolosov down.
Yeah.
You send him back down and you say, look, kid, you got a shot. You know, if you want to stomp your feet and say you're going to go back to the KHL, fair, but like you're clearly not ready yet to be an impact NHL goalie. You've shown that. You have a lot to learn, so we're fine sending you down and seeing what happens. However, if Fedotov stinks in this game, then you're like, okay, we have a much larger sample of you being bad versus that one game of you being fine. You got to go down. Kolosov's going to be the backup to Ersson when he's healthy.
And like, in that one game, he was fine. I realize like Nikita Kucherov is perennial Hart Trophy contender.
Indeed.
He had 100 assists last year, and he decided that wasn't good enough. I guess I got to win the Rocket too. So he's scoring a ton of goals this year. Like he got undressed. So too did like Rasmus Ristolainen. So it's not like he was alone on the play. But the goal he gives up on the wraparound was freaking hideous. But beyond that, he did play a solid game. But we've been watching the Flyers for a long time. They've had a lot of bad goalies. Most of them, threw out a good game every now and then.
Yeah, most of them. Yeah, that's why Fedotov's struggling was so glaring, because it's like, can't you give us one?
I saw Taiwan Walker pitch well sometimes.
Yeah,
every now and then.
I was at a couple
Last
good
year.
Adam Eaton starts.
I was at
They
a lot
happened.
of
They happens occasionally.
Yeah. So it's not. I'm not going to put a ton of stock into that last game, but I will say it's at least something for him to build on. Now that he has the confidence of, I did it.
Now he's got to build something.
Yeah, I did do it. I tasted some success. I know what that is. Now you have to string a couple together in a row.
Yeah, you've built the base of the Lego house. Now we got to get some windows and a door up.
It is. I will say, I'm just happy for him that, the story we've been following so closely for so long.
It's a great story. Yeah.
I said on that post-game show, if the movie ended in Tampa Bay winning that shootout, it's a good freaking movie.
Not bad.
The story of his life up until that game, it's a good. But if there's more, that would be cool too. Invincible doesn't end with, and then he went on to be an all-pro wideout.
It's no, he went on to be a motivational speaker.
Yeah. If Fedotov, it's just man, he had that one taste. All right, and the puck is down. We're about 20 seconds in here. Flyers looking to get on offense.
Not a bad early shift. Seeing 1C Ryan Poehling for the first time.
It's funny because we joked about it all offseason.
You knew it was going to happen at some point.
It's just, game 16, 17?
Of course it was.
How deep are we into this?
And again, as I said on the pregame show, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Scott Lawton, they want to keep him together with Farabee and Brink because he likes that line. And Morgan Frost just got scratched. He wasn't going to throw him right into the 1C role. So that's why Poehling's up. But it doesn't make it any less funny.
No, that's much like when I quote tweeted when we saw the lines for last game.
Right.
And it was Poehling and Richard with michkov. I was my initial reaction is to laugh. And you should. It's funny. But also, I kind of actually see it a little bit.
I actually, so funny story. Unfortunately, we're not going to get to see the line. But I really dug, some rando on Twitter said to me, well, it's the RPM line.
Yeah.
And I was that's perfect because you got Poehling and Richard are both very, very quick. And it's just a fun name. It's a fun little acronym name. Usually those are kind of boring, but that actually has a meaning. So yeah, let's go for it. So when I was in the locker room, I went over, because I interviewed Anthony Richard because I was maybe I'll do a piece on him if he keeps this up. I want to have an interview banked so that if he scores goals in the next 3 games and suddenly is the next Emile Andre, I have an early interview that I can pull from. So after the interview was done, I was just hey, just didn't know if you heard this, but somebody came up with this fun name for your line. He's I actually did. He said my brother sent me the tweet. That's cool. So he knows.
And he's another guy you just gotta I feel happy for more than anything. He's gotten a shot in the NHL.
Yeah.
I think he was 24 games prior to this season.
Yeah, he's gotten some shots with a couple teams.
He's been a call up for Montreal and I think Nashville before. But it's just cool. Not everyone gets a line name.
Yeah.
Little stuff like that.
Yeah,
he can print out and frame that tweet. And maybe he's way more cool than I am.
Well, he's probably way more cool than you. He is an NHL player.
Now.
Bill's don't shortcoming me. Whatever.
I'm a podcast host.
Yeah, you're real important too. Oh man.
A regional one.
Beautiful.
Yeah, game 17.
Yeah, he played let's see. He played for Nashville, 1 game in 2018-2019, then 1 game 2019-2020, then got in 13 games for the Montreal Canadiens in 22-23, and then 9 games for the Boston Bruins in 23-24. So he's actually made appearances in 4 NHL seasons for 3 separate teams.
They score.
That was quick.
Linus Olmark caught off guard by the Travis Sanheim. I don't want to call. I guess it was a snapshot.
It looked low to the ground.
Yeah.
It had some velocity, but it certainly didn't look like it had a lot of elevation, and must have just fooled him. Let's take a look. That was
shocking.
Good play by Tyson Forrester along the boards, and Noah Cates. Andre gets another assist, and yeah, just a good shot. Yeah, so it'll be Cates to Hathaway to Andre to Santa. One thing that I think Tortorella will like about that play, and it's going to be someone who doesn't get an assist because it was too far away. He's going to like the work that Tyson Forrester did along the boards. Because that's something I asked John Tortorella yesterday about Tyson Forrester. I wanted to because I might do a piece on him and Frost in the coming days about their struggles. So I wanted to get Tortorella's thoughts on him. I knew he wasn't going to give any thoughts on Frost because he was planning to scratch him again. He was just going to be like, well, he's not good enough, whatever. Forrester was like, okay, he might actually give me something, and he did. He, 1 second. Well, let's see what happens here. Looks like that rush slowed down a bit, so I will continue. I asked him about Forrester, and I was like, last year he got to the slow offensive start too. Are these struggles in your mind different than the ones he had last year? And Tortorella said yes. You know, last year he was doing so many things away from the puck, so many good things. This year, I'm not seeing it. But what he did say, which I thought was interesting, he said, Torts liked what he saw from Forrester along the boards with his stick in the San Jose game. He said that was the first time in a while he was starting to see. Oh, great play by Lawton there. Lawton with a nice little forecheck to generate a chance, and then Flyers get nothing out of it. But still, solid forecheck by Lawton. Anyway, point I was making was that Tortorella thought he saw progress in what Forrester provided in the San Jose game. Obviously, San Jose is not that great of a team, but now, first goal of the game, Tyson Forrester's involved with that battle along the boards that gets that puck loosened up and starts that passing sequence that ends in a goal. I suspect that John Tortorella will.
Well, it's got to be a slash.
Will remember that play. No, apparently it's not. No penalty.
I thought when the stick breaks, it's
generally speaking.
And I hate that rule.
It was a good little deflection play there by Michkov, right at the top of the defensive zone, breaking up a play.
Andre
Another
has
good
made
one, actually. 2 straight disruptions by Michkov, and then
get a steal down low.
Well, that was Noah Cates' fault. He very clearly was not hard enough on that puck.
But back to Andre's assist. I feel like he's already made a little name with those one-touch passes, kind of very decisive and confident is how I keep describing Emil Andre. There's no hesitation with when he's going to move the puck. And we've seen him make that play to Michkov to set up the Konechny goal last game. He does very, very similar pass to Sanheim there. It's funny because I have someone in my DMs who a few weeks ago was like, it's a disgrace.
Somebody slide into your DMs, William?
Nonstop. Dudes who have hockey takes. It's a disgrace. Emil Andre isn't playing. He's better than this guy and that guy. And I just kind of gave him your line. That could be true, but stating it as fact is doing so without any proof.
Yeah.
I just don't have any actual evidence of that.
Yeah.
And I can't. It's not about, and also it's not about is he better than Drysdale today. It's about what's best to make him the best player he can be in a few years.
Yeah.
But I'm watching him, and it's the dude comes back oh, and now on your show you're saying you love Andre. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because then he played, and I liked what I saw. It's very I like evidence.
Well, in fairness, I had a dude in my mentions right after camp who was yelling at me for selling him a bill of goods that Emil Andre was good. And he was like, all you do is talk up these prospects and they all stink. And Andre is just another guy who stinks because he didn't make the team. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I like Emil Andre. I don't think he's going to be a star, but I think he has the upside to be a quality second pair defenseman. I will say, though, in that guy's defense, I think 4 weeks later, he got back into my mentions and said, I'm sorry. I like Andre now.
There you go.
It's okay, sure, bud.
One thing, because we all know what happened to Tyson Forster first 15 games last year. No goals, 3 assists. But the board work and all that stuff. But just the chances and shots. Last year in those first 15 games, he went without a goal. 31 shots on goal.
Okay.
This year, he does have the 2 goals in the first 15 games.
Oh, boy.
18 shots.
Yep. Oh, there goes that lead. Brady Kachuk, the Joel Embiid fan.
Oh, who isn't?
John Tortorella did not look happy about that one. It looked like there was a little mini turnover there in the defensive zone. I want to see a replay. But it looked like the Flyers had at least partial possession of the puck. Yeah, it was
Connecting has a
TK.
chance.
Okay, TK flips it out. No, not really. It was just a nice little passing play. I guess Konechny could have deflected that pass. Yeah, could have, but it was a good passing play. Flyers probably weren't as sharp as they needed to be on that regroup because once you get it out of the zone, you need to get back in a solid structure, solid formation to prevent those sort of quick strikes, and they clearly didn't. So now it's tied 1-1. Flyers get the early lead and then quickly squander it.
Yeah, Forster has 18 shots this year.
In what's it?
15 games.
Yeah, because he sat once.
31 in 15 games last year.
Yeah, that's rough.
And 8 of them came in the first 2 games this season. He had 4 in each of the first 2 games.
Wow, so then he hasn't done anything really since then.
Yeah, it's he's got 10 games with 1 or fewer shots this year.
Yikes. Yeah, it's hard for me to understand. It's hard for me to understand what's going on with Tyson Forster. I really don't get it. Hopefully, he's starting to get a little bit back into. I don't even want to say a rhythm, but it's more just like getting back to who we think he is.
Yeah.
Because as I said on yesterday's show, I'm willing to be patient with his offense. He's a young guy. He's in just his second NHL season. Maybe that run in the second half of last year was more of a hot streak than him like being ready to do that on a yearly basis. Maybe he's not quite there yet. I can accept that. What I can't accept is seeing a guy who, as a rookie, was doing so many of the little things right, and then as a sophomore, just not doing them anymore. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Because development, we say this all the time, it's not linear.
Of course not.
But, it's not an escalator, you know? But once you're on...
Yeah, it's like chutes and ladders.
Yeah, once you're on a certain base, you shouldn't all of a sudden fall down in the areas that look like this is the foundation of your game.
Once you reach the checkpoint
in
a video game, like you don't turn the game system off so you have to go all the way back to start. You keep going back to that checkpoint, hopefully.
Like technically he's on a better scoring pace than he was last season.
Yeah, but it's not saying much.
Exactly. He has 2 instead of 0. But if the rest of his game has earned him now 4th line minutes, it's like, well, this is a guy that they told us was, we think, high-end talent.
Yeah, it's fair. No, it's concerning. Forster's, I don't want to go so far as to call it a regression yet because it's so early. But his struggles, let's call them, to start the year, they're concerning. And John Tortorella straight up said it's a concern. He's with us. And I think what's surprising Tortorella the most is like Forster was one of his guys. He loved Forster last year.
Yeah.
And you don't usually see one of Torts' guys squander that status. And it seems like Forster is kind of squandering that status.
That's got to just drive Morgan Frost insane. You have it all.
You don't know how lucky you are. Cherish it. Cherish it.
Stay as long as you can.
Oh, man. Gotta love old Adam Sandler movies.
It's the best. While we have a second, want to tell you about our PHLY Philly Sports Trips Flyers takeover in Montreal. It's April 4th to the 7th in 2025. That's this season, this spring. We're going to Montreal with Philly Sports Trips, and it's going to be an awesome experience. Full package includes round-trip flights, airport transfer, 3-night hotel stay, game tickets for the Flyers and Habs, game day transportation, a meet and greet with special guest Brian Prop, and an all-inclusive tailgate party in Montreal. There's going to be trip coordinators putting the whole thing together, itinerary. It's going to be an awesome time. Check it out at allphly.com under the events tab.
Yeah, Montreal. If you haven't been, it's a blast.
Charlie speaks very highly of
really
Montreal.
fun city. Number one, like bar scene's great. So if you're going there, just to have a good time. But even beyond that, like I think it's one of the most beautiful cities in North America. I think the architecture, the buildings are gorgeous. There's a ton of different neighborhoods that you can go to. There's like a mountain behind the city you can climb. It's on the water. There's a lot of gorgeous sights. Like I just think it's an amazing city all around.
It's going to be a great time.
Probably my favorite non-Philadelphia city.
Come hang out with Charlie, Kelly, me, and I'm told Brenna is going to be on the trip as well.
Hell yeah.
We're going to have a great time. Check it out, allphly.com under the events tab. Got 11:39 left here in the first period. Score is
that was a good
tied
save by
at 1.
Fedotov.
That was nice.
Yeah, it was a good save by Fedotov.
I wanted to ask, like the goal he gives up, it's basically a 1-on-0 on a rush.
I'm not going to give him too much grief on that one.
It's one of those, that would be nice,
Yeah.
but my expectations are only so high.
Yeah, I'm not going to kill Fedotov for the goalie. Like, yeah, it's
defend the rush.
It's a shot in the slot. Like, those are tough shots. Goalies stop them sometimes, but it's not a weak goal. At this point, I'm just hoping for Fedotov to avoid weak goals. Ooh. Flyers so far tonight not doing a great job of protecting the middle, especially in comparison to how well they've been doing it over the last like week and a half or so. Like the only game where I would say they didn't do an amazing job of that was the Carolina game, but that was just because Carolina had the puck the whole game.
Yeah, I mean,
eventually you're going to get tired.
It's 6 shots through final 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that I wanted to make sure we said, like praising them for the San Jose game, just because they did a lot of stuff I liked in that game.
Yeah.
But it is San Jose who set a record by losing their first 9 games 2 years in a row. Like
there is that.
And flat out stink.
Yeah, they're not good.
They blew a 3-goal lead.
They're quite bad, in fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Flyers are definitely letting Ottawa dictate the tempo. Basically, ever since they scored their goal, they've been letting Ottawa dictate the tempo.
Yeah, they had a few good shifts to start, and it's been all Ottawa since. Shots are 5-2 in favor of the Sens.
Yeah, they need to tighten things up. I mean, although I will say, like, the puck possession, play driving, 5-on-5 side of the game, like, this is where the absence of Sean Couturier, you really feel it.
Absolutely.
Because over the last few weeks, if they had a bad shift, they could trust, okay, we'll send the Couturier line out there, and they're at least going to get in the offensive zone and stabilize things. They don't have that right now. Now, the guy on that line is Ryan Poehling, and, like, Ryan Poehling is a perfectly solid bottom 6 center. He could be on any contender as a bottom 6 center, as ideally a 4th-line center, and contender would be happy. He's not a play-driving center in the way that Sean Couturier is. He's not going to dominate possession or help the line dominate possession the way Sean Couturier will. He's going to attack on the rush and forecheck and be a pest and bother teams.
As much as I like TK and Tippett, like that's not necessarily their thing. Their attack on the rush players.
It is a very fast line.
Yeah. Oh, it's got speed.
It's got a lot of speed.
Definitely has speed. But in order to use it, you got to get the puck.
That does tend to be important, William.
I'm learning. I'm going to master this game one day, Charlie.
Oh, man. Yeah, looking at the early natural stat trick numbers, Flyers so far have gotten only 24.6% of the expected goals. Not great. Not the best.
Considering they have a goal. They have 50% of the goals.
Yeah, not the best. They're losing the shot attempts battle 11-6.
I like this time of year when we start to see this season's highlights in the in the commercials.
Yeah, it just show one of the Michkov skated to the middle and then there's the Couturier hat trick with the empty netter.
You get like JJ calls that I actually I
remember that one.
Yeah.
Oh, dollar dog game.
November 18th against the Avs.
Shove it, Phillies.
It's the simplest promotion. Like, yeah, we'll just do dollar dogs.
Yeah.
That's genius.
Yeah. You're not going to do it anymore? Okay.
What's the most hot dogs you think you can eat in this sitting?
Ooh, good question. I mean, here's the thing. It could be a lot. Like, I wouldn't do it, but I fully believe I could eat like 6.
Okay.
Pretty easily. And if I really was haven't eaten anything all day, real hungry, I don't know, but it would be a lot. Because I can eat 2 easy.
Oh, yeah.
And that's without even trying. So I don't think it would be that hard to add another 3 or 4. And then at that point, it's how many more can I actually just eat without puking?
And the dog competition, you don't want to be in line all night.
Yeah.
And so you get a bunch, and then they get cold.
Yeah.
And it becomes much more difficult than you think.
Yeah, then they're not good.
Yeah, then it becomes much more difficult than you think. It's crazy.
Claude Giroux coming up on 1,200
almost
games.
at 200 games away from the Flyers. Hard to believe, Harry.
Hard to believe, Harry.
He was just such he was the entire conversation for so long. We had plenty of other things.
Yeah. I think Tony Dick just got tackled. Not quite sure what the heck was that, but I don't think they called a penalty on it, but looked like Anthony Richard basically just got knocked down way away from the puck in the neutral zone.
Does he know about his nickname? He knows about the line
No,
name.
I'm not going to tell him.
You're not going to tell him that I call him Tony Dick?
No, I will not tell him that. He can find that out on his own.
All right. I wonder if he would get it, because it's not like his name is Richard. It's Richard.
Here's the thing. There's no way that he hasn't gotten that a couple times. He plays.
Right.
He's a hockey player.
Yeah.
Come on. You've been in locker rooms. You know what it's like. There's no way he hasn't heard that at least a couple times. It's just extra funny for us because it's Philly.
Yeah.
So it's just Tony Dick sounds like the person you meet in a dive bar in South Philly.
Yeah, or I get my lottery tickets from Tony Dick.
Tony Dick, yeah.
He sells Lucy's and rings.
Man. But no, he's absolutely gotten that before. I'd be shocked.
Well, I'm claiming ownership of it.
I mean, no one else wanted it, so you can have it. It is your name. You are the one that has dubbed him Tony Dick.
Just got a tweet. I will retract my Morgan Frost slander if he just moves his feet all night, start to finish. Not even saying he has to get on the score sheet, but just look like a guy who can help them win for 60 minutes. And
I mean, he moves.
It takes so much more than one game for me.
It's not like he just stands there.
Morgan Frost at this point.
Just saying. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's not like he just stands there. But I agree that he has not looked effective this year, with only minor exceptions here and there. He's not off to a good start.
Time is it? What time does the Eagles game start tonight? 8:15?
Yeah, those games usually start around 8:15. Oof.
Might have to get a third screen experience going.
There we go. I like your thinking, sir. I mean, one of the positives of this period so far, and there haven't been a ton of them for the Flyers, Fedotov looks fine.
He does. He looks normal.
He looks fine. He hasn't had any moments where he made a save and then fell backwards.
All right,
now the Flyers have power
going
play.
to the power play.
Yeah, so at the very least, he doesn't noticeably look off.
Yeah, it was the most surprising thing of the Tampa Bay game to me, and really his entire beginning to his career. The most normal he looked was
the shootout.
In the shootout.
Yeah, you were saying that.
Game on the line, 1-on-0s, skills competition, facing off against a legit legend down the other end looking for his 300th career win. And he just looked like an NHL goalie.
Yeah, you can see on these replays, the ones they were showing earlier, they're trying to get traffic in front of Fedotov, and it does seem like he's a bit more adept at dealing with it than he was the first 2 weeks of the year.
All right, let's see how this power play looks. If they can.
Yeah, so who is it? We got Michkov. They put Frost back on it. Okay.
Frost
I was
makes-
curious who was going to take that spot.
I wondered if they would do it,
Yeah. And they have.
but it's just what makes the most sense. at
Yeah,
this
well, I
point.
mean, Frost obviously started out the year on that
Yeah.
that power play one. The only difference now is that it's Andre instead of Drysdale. But Drysdale, of course, is injured, so. Okay, well, there was the fall backwards after the save. But hey, he made the save.
He is. It looks like he's making an effort to come out further.
Yeah, people were saying that after the Tampa game. That it looked like he was being a little bit more aggressive.
Finding his depth a little bit.
Yeah, with his depth.
It's like he's just so big.
Ooh,
like,
that wasn't
that
great
was
by Andre.
While
Now you got
Andre
2 on
is
1.
confident, he does have a few of those as well. All right.
I think Fedotov stopped it.
I think that got his stick.
Yeah, pretty sure he did stop it. Not a great first unit run for the power
this
play,
is
but
a power play reminiscent of the last few years as they miscommunicate on who will take the puck.
yeah, I mean, it was a nice pass by Michkov to kick off that sequence, and then Andre tries to flip the puck over the stick, I guess probably to try to get it to either connecting or tip it. I think it was tip it, and then just couldn't get it through. Welp.
About
Doesn't
20
look-
seconds left here on this power
Yeah.
play.
Does not look like this power play is going to bear fruit, not going to lie.
I got to tell you, I like Bobby Brink a lot. I need more offense out of him. If he's going to be what he is, he needs to score a little bit more.
That's fair. And I think I would like to, he made that save. Good save
Yeah,
by
he did.
Fedotov. Looked like with the blocker. Andre did not shower himself in glory on that power play. He did not look good.
Wasn't great.
Yeah, he had the turnover. He got knocked off the puck. He does the unsuccessful starfish on the 2-on-1. Just
Yeah, they just
not
kinda drag it around him,
one of his less impressive shifts.
which is
in quite a
always
while.
my issue with the laying on the ice defense.
The one player who I will always accept the starfish from is Eric Johnson because he's actually
He
good at
appears
it.
to be good at it.
He's the one player, the one defenseman who I've watched in my life, at least since I've started like covering the Flyers professionally, who both regularly does the starfish, which, and if you don't know what the starfish is, it's basically when you just like slide along the ice and like flail out all your limbs and hope that you can block or deflect a pass or a shot, I guess, for that matter. He's the only player who both does it a lot and like usually it works.
Yeah, it doesn't get
Like
burned.
Andrew McDonald did it all the time. It never worked.
Well, he just laid down. And it was like, well, guess what? Every player in the league has a sauce pass, man. It's not 1974.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You're just choosing to defend nobody.
That was a nice chance by
Also, it was.
Forster there.
Also, every goalie is a butterfly goalie now. You don't need to take away the bottom of the ice. That's what they do.
Not wrong. Not wrong, William.
These little things drive me insane.
It's just the little things. It's all about the little things. Yeah, just kind of an ugly period all around for the Flyers.
Just
a couple good shifts to start the game.
but really
and since
can't
then,
sustain anything, even on their power play. Very little zone time.
yeah.
Maybe they had a shot or two.
I do think, as I said, I think the absence of Couturier is hurting them 5-on-5. But on the power play, like that's just being discombobulated because he's not like, even if he's on the unit, he's not one of the people who's driving.
No, it's his job to win the face-off and then get his ass to the net.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good job by Fedotov to stick with that one. As I don't know if he purposefully fanned as a deke or fanned on the pass, but went to center it, and Fedotov held his post.
Yeah. Again, Fedotov's been fine so far.
Looks completely normal.
Completely normal, aside from that one on the penalty kill or on the power play when he fell backwards. Does that sometimes.
And sometimes you fall backwards.
You know, not all of us are the best balanced, Bill.
It is really cool, not to turn this into an Eagles conversation, but here at PHLY, one of our, it's been really cool that Vinny Curry has been hanging out.
Yeah.
He's been doing the Eagles show this season.
All season.
I've done, I actually, back in my previous life, had a wrestling podcast that Vinny Curry appeared on, and he was such a cool guy. We were like, oh, we found out he likes wrestling. We'll ask him some questions, see how much. And it was like, Oh no, he's a nerd.
He knows it all.
Yeah, but he's really cool, and he's retiring as an Eagle tonight. I saw E-Rock just tweeted out, "Congratulations on an amazing career," and it's dope. It's really cool that one of our guys is getting that. And
yeah, it's
Vinny
awesome.
Curry, one of the underrated players of his time. If in college, intentional grounding, if you force an intentional grounding, you get credited with a sack.
Yeah, that makes sense.
In the NFL, you don't.
Yeah, that's BS.
And Vinny Curry would have like 10 to 12 more career sacks if they counted the intentional grounding.
Fair.
He was really good. Always loved Curry.
Yeah, he was a very important member of that defense. And all the guys on that defense, really all the guys on that team, like they'll never pay for a drink again in this city.
Form 403 here, if you're trying to watch along with us. Thank you for joining during this watch along, brought to you by our friends at Coors Light. Make sure you crack an ice cold Coors Light while you're watching along with us. Choose chill. Must be 21 or older, obviously, but I can't imagine we have too many underage viewers.
Seems unlikely.
Crack that ice cold.
We might
Coors
have some
Light.
college kids.
We could. We could. And in that case, you know.
Don't get caught.
No. We can't do this. Coors Light does not approve of such things. Do not do that. But yeah, it's watch along brought to you by Coors Light. We'll be chilling, drinking ice cold Coors Light all night. During intermissions, we will not be with you. We will be chilling at that time as well. But we'll be back for the second period. There's still about 4 minutes left here. Just wanted to give you a heads up. Be nice to see a little bit of offense.
It certainly would.
Get
4
something.
shots on goal, not great.
We have some funny comments, Bren.
Someone said, Charlie, tell us about Robert De Niro.
Oh yeah.
How was Robert De Niro?
I mean, I
Charlie?
didn't get particularly close to him. Like I'm pretty decent friends with Dylan Philaticus on Twitter. So I go to his tailgate, and apparently what it was that like De Niro was going to the tailgate across like the parking lot, like literally just like right across. He wasn't going to this tailgate, but he was going to the other one because they had some hookup with like a union, and it was a whole political thing. But the only reason why apparently he stopped by the Dylan tailgate was because he was told like this dude makes really good food.
He smelled the food.
You should you should stop by, and he did, and he had I think duck that Dylan had made.
He was doing press duck that day,
and apparently Robert De Niro was very impressed. He was
It's-
impressed.
I just
He
like
was
imagine,
impressed.
imagine, like you're Robert De Niro. You're like 100 years old. You're one of the most famous people on the planet. And it's like, I got to go to this Eagles tailgate. It's a whole job. Like, he's at work, you know? He's doing work stuff.
Yeah. Oh,
And
nice
then-
pass by Frost.
It's like, what are we going to have? Like, dogs, maybe ribs or something. Someone's like, this guy over here is actually like a gourmet cook.
You might want to go there.
Go check out the press duck. It's a little scrum going on here.
Is Michkov involved? Looks like Fedotov was leaving the net, so... One thing to be clear for the people watching the watch along, we really can't hear the broadcasters.
Yeah, it's hard to tell
so
what's
there
happening.
might be times during this where like we are not quite sure what's going on, and you might be aware because you can hear what JJ is saying and we can't. So just that disclaimer for you.
Mish to the box. They're not showing anyone else. So
Looks like it's just him.
Where was Fedotov going?
Yeah, he must have thought it was a penalty on the
That
Sens.
is a little concerning. Really?
That's what they call really. Wow. So Frost.
Wow.
Frost gets dumped. Michkov pushes Brady Kachuk as like in semi retaliation, but it was like hockey. Like that's like a hockey push.
That is not a penalty. I'm sorry.
That's a hockey push. That's fine.
They don't
like,
call that in high school.
if you're gonna, in my mind, with that play, if you're gonna call Michkov for the penalty,
just take
you
both.
take both. Like take
All right.
Kachuk for the little dump of Frost.
2
and then
minutes
call it.
left in the period. Let's calm everyone down.
Yeah.
Like, you don't give them a power play for that.
Yeah, that seems.
Now we get a look
that
at
seems
this.
unfair.
Over 29% Ottawa power play. Been really, really strong.
Well, at the very least, Michkov doesn't kill penalties.
Yeah,
They didn't lose a PK.
I think Mish mixing it up a little, though.
I mean, he's got the competitive streak.
Yeah.
Now he just kind of needs to harness.
We're
it a
going to
little bit.
see him fight this year.
I don't know if the veterans of the team will let him fight.
They seem very, very interested in not allowing it to happen.
It will be kind of like
But,
that,
like-
the fight where Couturier was about to drop the gloves with Jack Eye, and then Nick Sealer came in and was like, "Nope, you ain't fighting."
It's just like, what if it's a line brawl?
Yeah,
Well, I
fair.
know that those don't happen regularly, but we are the Flyers.
If they were going to happen, could come against.
I
This
mean,
team.
it's
the
Ottawa.
history is there.
It's Ottawa. Brady Tkachuk, like any game with Brady Tkachuk has a chance to pop off.
No, he's definitely a pest and also a very good hockey player. Oh, good save. Fedotov looks
He
competent.
looks fine.
He looks competent. Konechny taking it down, even though it didn't happen. Kill some time.
Yeah.
That's part of the benefit of the power kill. Rather than just clearing it,
They have to go the full length of the ice.
you're killing an extra 5-10 seconds because you took the puck down rather than just shot it down the lane.
Establish their most effective cycle thus far on the penalty kill.
Yeah, right.
All right. I'm tough.
Another good stop. Tracked that puck well. Changed direction, got semi-blocked, and he still followed it. Yeah, Fedotov looks fine. He looks like the same guy from Tampa. Yeah, he gets blocked by Sealer, and he still follows it. Yeah, like that little bump
That was as much
Sealer
as-
did. It was exactly what Michkov.
That might have been worse because it looked like an elbow.
Yeah,
Like maybe a little high.
terrible penalty call. What are we even doing here?
Nice. I'm allowed to call Michkov for penalties. It should be a rule.
Should be a rule.
He doesn't even know that. He can't read the rule book.
He's learning. He's working with a tutor. Maybe he can read the rule
I
book now.
guarantee his English is better than my Russian.
Do you think that the NHL, if obviously they don't have it on demand, but do you think they would,
There have
upon
to be.
request, give out rule books in other languages if players request it?
There have to
You would
be.
think, right?
Yes, it's such an international game.
Yeah, you would think, right?
I mean,
They can't just be in English.
There's one
At the
whole
very least, they have one in French.
there's
because-
one whole team that speaks French. All right.
I'm pretty sure the Montreal Canadiens would
Yes.
actually sue the NHL.
Yes, they would own the league, which, All right. That is the end of the first period. So that will bring a pause to our watch along here presented by our friends at Coors Light. We will be back for the start of the second period. So make sure you grab an ice cold Coors Light and then join us for the second tie game here, 1-1 between the Flyers and Senators. We will be back in about 16 or so minutes. Welcome back, everybody. How you doing? It's Bill and Charlie here at the PHLY studios for our Coors Light watch along.
That's right. We're still here.
We aren't going anywhere. 5 hours of commercial-free Bill and Charlie.
Well, it's not quite commercial free.
Yeah, no, we take off the intermissions.
Yeah.
Just walk around. I got my
Go to the bathroom.
Got my YouTube.
Get a drink of water.
Yeah, got my
or
YouTube.
in your case,
Yeah,
a nice cold Coors Light.
ice cold Coors Light. We're choosing chill for the second period because the second period has been a disaster for the Flyers this year. Minus 17 goal differential.
That's not great, Bob.
It's real ugly. And as we get underway here,
They just need to get back to whatever was working those first few shifts of the game. Because since then, we have not seen an effective Flyers team.
Yes.
They very much look like the disconnected Flyers team from, prior to the road trip.
shots are 14-3
Yeah,
in favor of the Sens.
Yeah, that's a very versus the Bruins type thing.
Yeah, and now 15 with that last one. Not a great start if you were hoping that they'd get things together to start the second period.
Not really. Not the best by any means.
Finally break out, and that's intercepted.
Yeah, but again, there was another example. They're all stretched out. Paling isn't a high skill guy. He's got to make, for that to work, he's got to make a high skill pass and send it all the way up to the guy up at the blue line. There's just not enough puck support there, especially not for a Ryan Paling. Maybe if it's a high skill guy, if it's your top line, well, I guess he is on the top line technically.
Yeah.
But the only guy on the ice with that top line at the moment who I would think has any chance of making that pass is Konechny. Tippett, I think is a high skill player, but he's a high skill shooter.
Yes.
High skill shooter and skater. Konechny does have the puck skills and creativity to pull that off. Ryan Paling doesn't. So maybe don't stretch out your entire team up and down the ice on a breakout when you don't have the kind of skill to be able to execute on the sort of plays that justify you stretching the entire team out on a breakout.
I feel like that's been a pretty consistent disconnect for them this year.
It has, yeah.
Is it not we saw with the Michkov goal? That's a read. The breakaway goal against San Jose. It's 2-on-1. Guy fumbles on his backhand. We're going to win this takeoff.
Yeah.
It's a read.
Exactly.
But there have just been too many times where it looks like they have a breakout, and it's we have a guy at the far blue line. You can't be that deep.
No, you can't. I guess the big positive right now, aside from Ivan Fedotov, who I think is having a pretty strong game, is the fact that they're tied. This feels like a game that they're losing.
It really
because they
does,
haven't played well for the majority of it, yet it's still 1-1. All they need is one play from a Tippett, from a Michkov, that just turns the game. Ottawa has not been able to take advantage of the fact that they have controlled play pretty much from the 16-minute mark.
Which kind of speaks to, they're 11th in the league in scoring, which is good. But you see some of the games they've put up. It's they've put up 8 twice. They've got 4 more in half their games. And it's just, why aren't they top of the league in scoring? Because they don't always take advantage.
Yeah, it comes in bunches for them, it appears. My question is, how quickly does Tortorella juggle the lines? They aren't losing, so there's that, but they're not playing well.
I guess as long as Frost
that's not great by Morgan Frost.
Wipes out.
I was going to say, they better not call that a penalty.
No, he just fell.
Yeah. Sometimes guys just fall down. It is played on ice.
Garnet Hathaway, real good at making it look like someone made him fall, though. It is a skill.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, sometimes you gotta do a little First Mighty Ducks, Gordon Bombay style, getting indignant. Well, that's a good play by Forrester. All right, hasn't been a lot of positives on the skater side. I've liked some of the things Forrester's done. He's doing some of the things that made him effective last year in terms of the little things.
Winning some battles, winning some 50-50
that's
right there is that's who we think he is.
That's a good play. Yeah.
That's so much of what we've seen this year. Like the reason it's a disappointment, it's like we just created a baseline in our heads for a lot of these guys, and they're not living up to it.
Yeah, it's fair. And Forrester's a perfect example.
Yeah.
Forrester and Frost, I think, are the two most obvious. Tippett to a degree, although he's been getting it going recently. Tonight hasn't been great so far, but he was better on that road trip. He's starting to score a little bit. But Forrester and Frost are the two big ones where you're like, this is not what I believed is you.
There was one of those kind of crazy Fedotov overcommitments, but they're able to clear the crease.
He definitely committed.
Fouled him a little too far.
His skaters bailed him out, backed him up.
I feel like they're clogging the middle a little better.
Yeah, that's true. That's a penalty.
That's going to be interference.
Yep. Flyers going to be going to the penalty kill once more.
Looked like Sanheim.
Yeah, I think
Cross-check, yeah.
I think it was somebody in the middle. So either the low forward or one of the defensemen. Sanheim, that's rough. See who they send in. Yeah, it's Sanheim. Oh, that's tough because he's definitely one of their more effective penalty killers in the back.
I just love, like, John Tortorella has evolved in so many ways in 20 years, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But there's, like, plays like this where he's just like, this is hockey still. Like, you could just read his face.
I mean, yeah, because, like,
you can't do that.
That is interference.
Yes.
He does, he doesn't have the puck. That said, like, 20 years ago,
That's
that
a
was
battle.
allowed.
It's called a net front battle.
20 years ago, that was allowed.
That's why you had to be 250 pounds to be a power forward or a defenseman.
Yeah. It was like that's 2 minutes for not being strong enough to deal with a cross check to the back. And, I mean, that's just the way the NHL is now. So, you got to find other ways to tie guys up and get them out of the way. It's just the reality of the NHL, William.
It is.
But
there's so many parts
John
of his
Tortorella is very much
there are
thinking,
so many parts of his insanity that I'm like, all right. And then little stuff like that, I go, yeah, I agree. This is how I was taught to play hockey too.
Fair point, John.
That I remember, like, oh, I'm Claude Giroux's age.
Yeah.
We just talked like, oh, it's surprising he's still alive out there. Like,
a miracle.
A miracle. 32, the oldest player in the league. As I was doing that with Brandon Graham the other day, and he's like 6 weeks older than me or something.
Uh-huh.
I was just like, oh, it's like, he looks good, man. Maybe he comes back another year. It's like, yeah, but he's so old.
So old.
Then I'm like, I remember he's in 88. I'm like, BG forever.
Yeah, that was always my thing with James Van Riemsdyk, is that he is, I believe, he's like a few days older than me. It's close. He's in 1989, just like me. And I remember for the longest time, like when I was in college, I could still say that I was young. I was younger than the youngest Flyer. Like, yeah, I'm still so young. I'm younger than all the players in the Flyers. And then, like, they up and trade for Couturier and Shen, and it's like, well, that's over.
Such is life.
Here's Giroux in his old office.
It is crazy because while G, like, you don't lose your hand. Like, he still has that skill.
Yeah.
He was no longer that super effective number one power play guy anymore while he was here. It did start to decline.
That's true. But he just didn't have help.
It's crazy what happens when you put players better than him on the ice, or at least as good as him. And then
he just had no help left.
You have a 29% power play.
Yep. Exactly. Blocked. Still killed time.
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right. Like, the decline for Giroux on the power play in Philly was not that he became bad on the power play. It's that he no longer was good enough to carry an entire power play. That was the decline, and that's what they were asking him to do.
And just little stuff like how he would play pitch and catch with Simmons. It's like, well, we got another net front guy.
Yeah.
He's the opposite handedness.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe we should have taken this into account.
There was definitely an element with that power play of, like, every year they were playing Jenga.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, well, we'll pull this brick out, but, like, it'll still stand. And now we'll pull this brick out, but it'll be okay. And then finally, at one point, the tower collapsed.
Yes.
you lost Hartnell, and it's like, well, the Drew will figure it out. You lost I guess Stride, and then he got replaced by Ghost, but you lost Simmons. It's like, well, they'll be okay. They'll find somebody. And then you lost Voracek and Ghost, and then it was over.
Then
it was
who's left?
Who's left?
Sounds like the Eagles game's getting underway, as is their watch along. But stay with us.
Stay with us.
Damn
or
it.
just have
Stay with ice cold
multiple
Coors Light.
screens, William.
Have so many freaking screens
so
going.
many screens.
Just call up Comcast. Let them know you need your Wi-Fi upped. I don't know how it all works.
Yeah. That's right.
I need more internet. Damn
Get
it.
that bandwidth.
Give me more internet. All right.
Oh boy.
As we're underway here. Drink Coors Light. Make sure you hang out with us. Forget the Eagles. Who cares?
It's not an important game at all.
May not have it on YouTube TV in front of me right now.
It's not an important game even a little bit. It's not, might not decide the division. Nah, no big deal. Nah. Flyers game against Ottawa in November.
It's a must-win.
That's where it's at.
It's the Senators. It's the biggest rivalry in this city.
I mean, for you it is.
Yeah.
Are they still your most hated team?
It's
just
tough.
Residual.
Yes. It's hard to hate even. I'm not the most ardent Claude Giroux defender. I recognize he was great and belongs in the Hall of Fame and all that. It is hard to hate a team that has Claude Giroux on it.
It's a fair point.
He was the only guy to root for 10 years.
Yeah, fair point.
I also don't hate Pittsburgh the way I did.
Okay.
Because it's over.
Okay.
Neither team's any good now.
Okay. Fair. See, for me, and again, this is just speaking for myself, I can never get over those grudges. Perfect example, and I've now been validated over time. Growing from the years of 2000, let's say 2005 through 2010, I loathed the New York Mets. Hated them with a passion. Easily my least favorite team.
Oh, yeah, I'll never get over the Mets.
More than the Penguins, more than the Cowboys. And then, for the past 8-9 years before this one, when people be like, well, what's your least favorite team? I'd be like, the Mets. I hate them. I root for them to go 0-162. Despise them. People are like, why do you care about the Mets? They're not that bad. The Yankees are worse. The Mets aren't even any good. I'm like, telling you, those Mets, you can't let them get up off the map because they will be the most annoying team in the world. And this year, I was validated. They are truly a menace that should not exist.
And
the New York Mets.
My
root
issue
against them at all times.
I have unending issues with the Mets, but my biggest one is their fans are legitimately stupid. You have the greatest team in the history of North American sports in your city, and you chose that one. You chose the freaking Mets.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for me, it all basically stems from, we got Norris throwing a punch. Why isn't that a penalty like the Michkov punch was against the Sharks? I don't know. No, for me, it all stems from, and this is probably a reason for Flyers fans to hate Rangers fans. Same deal. It was the fact that Mets fans would invade CBP.
Yeah.
And it's I don't want to deal with you. You shouldn't. This is my happy place. Get out of my home. You are not invited here. And I hate Mets fans because and also there's that. And they're also just obnoxious because they're New Yorkers. So there are a bunch of people that come to your home stadium and be obnoxious. It's I don't want you here. Just leave. And it will all,
and I can't believe they're
all
mistreated.
stem from that.
Can't believe they were mistreated. Really?
Yeah, you're yelling shit.
I don't know, man. By the time Jason 7 comes around, they probably should have figured out to stay out of Camp Crystal Lake.
Fair point. I thought for a second that last shot was going short side. Fedotov
back to the game.
Fedotov left a lane there. That could have went in. I think they just missed. But there was a gap. Oh,
there we go. Finally force a turnover. They get back though.
Nothing. Farabee looked a little wiped. It was a long shift, I guess.
We're almost halfway through this game.
4 shots on goal.
Flyers have 4
This
shots.
This is rough.
Killing Olmark's save percentage. But
true. They just don't have the puck.
They have,
and now another.
And now they're going on.
So now there's going to be another 2 minutes where they don't have the puck.
They have
unless
held
they give
up
a goal, I guess.
They have held up well against a very good Ottawa power play, but at a certain point, you can't give them that many opportunities.
Well, this is very true. Yeah, I mean, this is an embarrassing game so far, and I
It is.
know they're not losing.
I can't
but,
believe
like,
it's 1-1.
Yeah, you're losing in shots 23-4. Again, like I guess I thought we were past this.
Fedotov, the best player on the ice tonight so far?
For the Flyers, absolutely.
Yeah, for the Flyers.
Yeah, 100%.
That is concerning.
It is very concerning.
Considering we were trying to come up with creative ways to get rid of him just a week ago.
Farabee popped in the.
Yeah.
I guess that was after his miss on the that rush.
Wow, what are you even doing?
Like that, like that's in the offensive zone. Come on, like you just got to be more careful. Like that's just a reckless.
The
stick.
puck wasn't that close.
Yeah, like
you
that,
weren't lifting his. You just
that's the kind of
That's
penalty.
undisciplined.
Like Torts will give Sanheim a pass for that cross check in front of the net. Like, you know what? You're trying to be physical.
battling.
You're engaged. Fine. Like it happens. It's hockey. That's one that a coach should be mad. That's just a bad penalty by Farabee.
How did you lose your stick doing that? Failing stick, like Happy Gilmore'd it into the third row.
They are not sharp tonight.
And they get one.
Yeah. I mean, that was inevitable.
Yeah.
It was coming.
You gave them all the opportunity in the world here. Now it is 2-1 Ottawa.
24-4 shots on goal.
Is that good?
It seems bad.
Oh, we do have is this the only super chat so far, Bryn? From Laura Cusalino. This is actually an interesting one for Charlie. And not that they're all not interesting. I just don't know the answer to this either. Hey, guys. Charlie, how do you determine which away games to attend/cover? Is it typically a series of road games as opposed to a single one?
I would say that is generally the plan, because you look at it this way. First off, like I don't go to all the road games. I don't want to go to all the road games. I want to be able to do things like this in studio. Also, traveling to every road game, it's exhausting. Like it is tiring. So I don't want to go to every game, but the long road trips tend to be the most valuable in terms of going to practices, having conversations with people in the organization, having conversations with players for features. The single gamers, the ones where it's like, well, we're just going to go up to Ottawa and then come back.
Yeah, like
you're really only going for the game. And I don't personally see a ton of value in just being there for the game. Like, yeah, is it better to watch it in the press box and get to interview the players after the game and get to interview Torts before the game? Sure, it's better. Is it worth all of the time and effort?
They play 82 of them.
They play 82 of them. So generally speaking, I've found that the trips I get the most value out of are the longer ones. And by longer, like it doesn't have to be a 3-gamer or a 4-gamer. Like it could be a 2-gamer if there's going to be some practices.
And what if it's over like over 5 days where you're going to be able to actually get like you said, some practice time and.
But generally speaking, unless there's a game where like there is a very special narrative or it's like a big rivalry, which the Flyers don't even really have at this point. But like if it ever gets to that point, like those are the only one-offs I'm probably ever going to do. Like if it ever gets to the point where the Flyers and Penguins are like true rivals again, I would go to a one-off Flyers-Penguins game.
And that's also not the most insane trip.
Another penalty. Flyers taking another penalty this game.
This is coming unraveled.
This is a really bad game.
Yeah. And Ottawa really needs a good performance. Like I said, they rank pretty high in a lot of statistics, and they come in a wild card spot by total points. I don't believe by points percentage.
It's early.
But it's, we're 15 games in.
As long as you're in the mix, you're
but
alive.
The Atlantic is obviously the Atlantic, and like that's a real crowded playoff picture there.
Yeah.
Like, what are they going to be top 3 in that division?
Yeah.
It's unlikely.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah, so
it's going to be real tough.
They need to separate themselves a little. They need a performance like this, and the Flyers, not a ton of pushback so far.
Flyers so far, and this was as of the 11:19 mark of the second period, so about a minute before where we're at right now. Flyers were losing the shot attempts battle in this period 16-3.
Eagles on their opening drive, settling for a field goal. Jake Elliott misses. I have him too. That's not great for anyone.
William, I don't love to hear that. Give me good news.
I didn't miss the field goal. Jake Elliott did.
Yeah, but you told me about it, so it's your fault. Isn't that how it works on Twitter? If I tweet out the lines and you're mad, it's my fault.
I don't do that
told
to you.
I know you don't, but
I
people
do sometimes.
People do.
You don't know who my burners are.
That's a fair point.
Could you imagine
if you were evil gritty?
If no one thinks it's me.
How have you gotten away with this? No one assumed it was you.
Because everyone looks at my Twitter account and goes like, he can't run his own.
You run 2 accounts. You run your account and the PHLY Flyers account. You could do a third. Oh, I guess TweetDeck is dead, right? So it's not as easy to run multiple accounts.
Like Bill has been on sports radio and doing a Flyers podcast in this town for 10 years, and he isn't at 10,000 followers yet.
We got to
I'm so close.
We got to get you there.
I'm at like 99.
We got to get you there before Twitter dies.
I know. I'm holding on just to get
You know
there.
what? Okay. For those watching on the watch along, if you have a Twitter and don't follow Bill, do it now. We need to get this guy to 10K.
So I
We need to get this guy to 5 figures.
Immediately just delete my account. At like
All right, well,
9,900.
The power play is still going on. The Flyers penalty kill is looking good again. Obviously, gave up a goal in the last one, but overall, it's been great this year. It was good the first time through. You know,
they just need the puck.
they haven't had the puck.
Like, that's
basically,
the story of this game.
aside from those first 2 or 3 shifts where they get a goal on one of them, the nice Sanheim goal, they really haven't had the puck the whole game.
Do they have a shot this period?
I think they have 1 because they started with 3, right?
Okay.
They originally they had 4 in the first for a second, and then they looked at it again and they took 1 away.
The constant audit of shots on goal.
I mean, you can thank our betting partners at Bet365 as one of them. That's the reason. If you don't know, like, just for anybody watching, if you don't know why they've been much more picky over the last couple of years about shots on goal, it's because of the gambling element.
You can gamble on
100%
shots,
the gambling element.
blocked shots, saves, all those things.
Yeah.
They are very good on.
Yeah,
all
they're-
the stuff you can't bet on,
They don't care.
They don't care.
Exactly,
Still. Yeah.
exactly.
Giveaways and takeaways, still a fake stat.
Yeah. Yeah, but the stuff you can bet on, they calibrate it and they look it back over again. You know, they validate those things because there are a lot of people betting on it now. Do you ever, with your props, like hits or anything like that? Or?
I do block shots
Block shots.
sometimes. Trying to think the other things. Like we did Farabee shots on goal the other night
Okay.
after he had like 9 in 2 games.
I mean, it got out, but that was a bad clear. You got to get that deep.
Yeah, you just...
And that's 10, 15 seconds he didn't kill.
JJ would be saying, preparing for one last rush. Breaking news.
No breaking news. My phone was vibrating, so I just wanted to make sure that, like, nothing bad happened in my life, and it didn't. So
That's
we're good.
good. Based on
Nice save.
based on the game center on NHL.com, we're actually pretty well caught up here.
Okay, good. I mean, YouTube TV isn't that far
No.
behind. It's
The thing
behind,
that's the
but
worst.
it's not crazy.
The thing that's the worst is the ESPN games on Hulu.
Yeah,
Those are like 2 minutes behind
they're
sometimes.
real bad. You're right. I remember somebody was complaining to me about those games, like, because I was tweeting out, like, the events. And they're like, why do you tweet it out so early? I'm like, I basically wait 30 seconds before I tweet out, like, a goal was scored after I see it. And at that point, it's like, I'm sorry. I can't wait any longer than this.
There are times, because I have you on notifications, and and you and Elliot Friedman and the Flyers, I think, are my notifications
3 most important people.
in my life.
You don't even have Ava? You don't even have your wife?
I do have her.
Okay,
I do
okay.
have her on notifications.
I was gonna
as well.
say.
But there's a lot of her, because I can't share a lot of her stuff
Yeah, that's
anymore because
fair.
we don't work at the same place anymore.
That's fair.
But yeah, she's on notifications. as
Okay,
well.
good. I'm glad your wife, you get
But
notifications.
there are
for your wife.
times it's pretty well synced up where I'm like,
Okay.
Charlie didn't spoil it for me. And there are other times I'm like, this is
Yeah.
like they're regrouping. How?
How is a goal
It's like
gonna be
40
scored here?
seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, I usually, my go-to tends to be about 30. I'll wait about 30, and then at that point, it's like, sorry, I got to tweet this.
Did I get blocked? Did he miss?
He might have missed. Either that or, like, Fedotov just got a piece of it.
It's crazy.
this is an ugly
still
game.
a 1-goal game.
This is an ugly game.
They're going to win this game. And it's going to be like, can we give the points back? Like, this is the exact kind of game you don't win in a rebuild. Like,
Yeah.
just concede the third period.
I think, like, what's frustrating me the most about this game is that, like, I thought they were past them. Like, it looked like they were making progress, you know?
This gets blamed on Morgan Frost, probably.
Well, of course, everything's Frost's fault. However, I do think a lot of this, not all of it, of course. I'm not going to say it's just one guy, but like the absence of Couturier, that's a big part of this.
He is, like you said earlier, a guy that you can use to try to win back some momentum.
Yeah.
Like that line with TK and Tippett
It's like
has been.
they're going to have the puck in the offensive zone. That's going to stabilize things a little
Hopefully,
bit.
we can get a shot and a cover, and the next line can start in the ozone.
Yeah.
And if we win that draw, now we have something going.
They haven't been able to get a stabilizing shift in this game, basically since like the 15-minute mark of the first period. The penalties aren't helping, to be sure, but there's been enough extended stretches of 5-on-5 where you would think they'd be able to get a shift here and there of like an extended cycle. They just haven't had it.
I mean, you would think they would just luck into a shot.
Well, you would think, William.
Like, everyone gets one eventually.
Or just like do a Gouda shot from center ice.
Gouda's the king of
Like,
Corsi.
look, like, they're just so disconnected.
Nothing. It's like they're on the penalty kill. Like,
Law-
just get it out.
Lawton's out in the middle of the ice, just kind of hovering.
Nice hit
like,
by EJ.
Yeah, but like, I don't know.
I know. It's just
like, why is everybody sprinting the zone?
yeah.
Like,
Where are you going?
where are you going?
You haven't earned.
Come back for support. Get
You
the
haven't
puck out of
earned
the
an
zone,
odd
step
man
by
rush.
step.
Yeah. Like, good stick there. They've just been outnumbered so many times.
Yeah, well, they're getting outworked. They're getting outworked. They're losing puck races, but also they're just way too stretched out.
Like they just had the left winger up at the offensive blue line, and it looked like he'd been standing there for a while.
Yeah, they're just kind of waiting. They're waiting for something to happen rather than going out there and making something happen.
Is this something?
Nah,
No.
I think they just fell on their own.
Yeah, it kind of looked like it.
Yeah, they're getting out hit 15-7, which is wild given the fact that
They've never had the puck.
Ottawa's had the puck the whole game, and they're still doubling up the Flyers in hits. Like, that's embarrassing.
How?
You would think that given the little possession the Flyers have had, they would at least be winning in hits.
It truly doesn't seem possible.
Yeah. That's yikes. That is a yikes level stat.
4:44 left in the second. They have one shot.
Jeez.
One. When was it? I feel, is there a play-by-play on this thing?
I mean, you can get the play-by-play.
Play type. Shot. When did this happen? 18:01.
Oh, wow.
A minute 59
in.
into the second period. Nick Seeler snapshot saved by Linus Olmark.
Yeah.
That's the last time they have a shot.
That's rough. The Flyers have only one player on the team who has been on the ice for not more shots against than shots for. And I'm talking shots on goal, and that's Tyson Forster. He's been on the ice for 2 shots on goal for the Flyers, 2 shots on goal for the Senators. Everyone else is underwater.
Charlie, 3 of their 4 shots are from defensemen. Sanheim has
the goal.
Sanheim has 2, including the goal. Seeler has the last one, and that Tyson Forster shot is the only other shot.
Yeah. I would say Tyson Forster is the only player, the only skater who I have anything remotely positive to say.
He did like 2 things I saw that were good.
Yeah.
And that is, considering they have 4 shots on goal, that is a hell of an accomplishment.
Not wrong. I mean, and I guess that passing sequence, that was nice.
Yeah.
The passing sequence in the lead up to the goal. All 5 players on the ice involved in it. That was great. Starts out with a Tyson Forster winning a battle, or at least not losing a battle along the boards, pushes the puck up to Cates. That was a nice play. I thought we were in line for an enjoyable hockey game. Instead, we've gotten whatever this has been.
You know, the Flyers offense has chosen to chill, and that's bad. But when you choose to chill, it's very good. Celebrate the times you choose to chill. Celebrate with an ice cold Coors Light. I've been enjoying one this period, and it's the best part of the game for me.
Definitely.
I can't speak to anything
It's always
else.
a good part of the game, but this game in
By
particular.
far, we just had a great check of the game. Owen Tippett. That's good stuff.
There
too.
was a hit.
Yeah.
Hey, he knocked him
he's
over.
got a couple. Good for him.
Good job, Owen. All right, he's throwing the
but
body
yeah,
at least.
Coors Light. CoorsLight.com/PHLY hockey. Get it delivered, etc.
And now more offensive zone possession
just-
for the Senators.
It's just like set up, get some shots,
Yep.
thwart a breakout. Nope.
Okay, they're going to get a power play.
Hey!
Michkov drawing a penalty.
And he's fine. He's a hockey
Yeah, he was
player.
just grimacing a little bit. Well, he's flexing that arm a little bit. Hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, the ice is hard.
Can confirm.
And if
it's not, there's a problem.
Yeah, not that freaking Jersey mud that they play in.
Yeah, it looks like Michkov's fine.
Yeah, he's fine. But it's a power play, and he's not starting it.
Well, I mean, honestly, they'll probably
yeah,
just
what
start.
the
Yeah,
hell's
they're
the
starting with
difference?
power play too. Both the power play units have stunk tonight.
so what's this?
Lawton,
Lawton,
Forster.
Farabee, Forster, Zamula, Brink.
Yep. Yep. And just get a couple shots. Like, put some pressure on them
That's the crazy thing is if they have a competent power play here, they will be in a tie game,
going into the third. Yeah.
being outshot 27-5 if they get one.
Wild.
Oh,
Forster almost finished that one.
and that would be poetic considering he's the only guy we like so far.
Yeah, right?
30 seconds down, they had a chance. Get right
They
back
counted that
in.
as a shot, so
Yeah.
I guess it was stopped. Couldn't really tell from.
Huge hit by Forster, I think.
They call a penalty on it.
They may have.
Yep, they sure did.
Tripping. Okay, not a huge hit, perhaps.
Well, power play was fun while it lasted, Bill.
That was a fun with 37 seconds of power play.
Ooh,
yeah.
that was a really good save.
That was a
yeah.
nice play set up by Farabee. Forster
Honestly,
to get to
you
the
know
back
what?
door.
Like, props to Olmark. His stick just got tangled. I mean, like, it's a penalty, but
yeah.
I'm not going to give Forrester too much crap for that one. He's trying to win a battle. A lot of credit, though, to Allmark because that's a tough save. And for you to have to make that save after not seeing a shot for 15 straight minutes,
No, that was
like that's not easy for a goalie.
no, and he had to be basically stretched out across the whole goal line. Passes coming from Farabee through the crease pretty much to Forster, and he's there. All right, 4-on-4 for 1:22. See if someone can take advantage of this room.
Yeah, I mean, you think this would be like Konechny, Tippett, even Frost if he could do anything. He's had like one good pass tonight, and other than that, he's been pretty much invisible.
All right.
I mean,
Reset.
hey, keep
Reset.
possession.
Yep.
Haven't had it pretty much the entire period. Then you do that.
Yeah.
Although Frost got it back. There we go.
I feel like that right there is what Torts hates.
Oh, Frost.
Guy going to the net, and he pulls
and
up.
he pulls up and just like, yeah.
And maybe it was the smart play, but I just think
Torts
that's what
hates it.
Torts hates.
Yeah.
Especially when you have 5 shots on goal.
Yeah. I think that's 6. I think they'll get credit for that one, that Michkov shot. Yep. There we go. All right. Well, I guess.
Threatening to meet their total from the last period of 3.
I guess some things have happened. No, they did. They
did. Yeah, that was the third one.
That
Yep,
was
yep,
third.
yep.
So it's
Okay.
3-3. On pace for 9.
Good for them.
Baby steps, William. Baby steps.
Like, it's a game now. I know not every team does what Carolina does.
Mhm.
But it is a game of shot attempts now.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. It's
Yeah.
like 3-point attempts in basketball. We got to get 50 up, and then we'll see how it goes. How do they have this many periods of like 3 or fewer? It's unbelievable.
It's fair. It's fair. I mean, right now, as of the 3:38 mark, is natural stat trick is usually a little bit behind. Flyers are losing the shot attempts battle 53-17.
I can't believe they have 17.
They have
attempts.
fewer than 20% of the expected goals. This is all situations, not just 5-on-5. Losing the scoring chance battle 21-7. it's really pretty even across the board. Like they're just getting dominated in every single statistical category. It's not like they're doing worse or better than in any one. It's just been bad. Just been quite terrible, William. And again, like the frustrating part for me is that it looked like they were past this.
Yeah.
Like this is the team that we saw in those games, like the games where they went 4 straight games where they averaged fewer than 20 shots a goal.
Yeah.
20 shots on goal. You know, you had the 2 Boston games, you had the Carolina game. You just had a bunch of games where it was like they weren't creating much of anything. They were stretched out. They weren't connected. Then you have the Tampa game, the Florida game, and the San Jose game. And you're like, all right, 3 straight games where they're racking up the shots, they're generating chances, they look together. And now tonight, it's back to the old problems.
I realize this is game 17 for the Flyers. So there's a lot of time to get this figured out. But it just feels like this is going to be, they had figured it out by now last year.
They figured it out real quick last year.
They struggled in October last year.
Yeah, I guess.
But then they got
it. They struggled in the win-loss column.
Yeah.
Their underlying play was strong even in October.
And they, obviously Sam Ersson becoming not a 700 save percentage goalie really helped. Those first 3-4 games were rough, and then he became good. But we're in, what is today, the 14th?
Yeah. It's March
Thanksgiving 15th. Ain't that far away.
It's true. You're not wrong.
And where you are on Thanksgiving is pretty much where you're going to be.
I mean, unless you're the St. Louis Blues.
Listen, there are always exceptions. Sanheim had it, but got it poked away from him as they try to kill off the final few seconds.
I mean,
Giroux with that play there.
Good work killing penalties.
Yeah, no, it's good, but
would have been better if it was a shorthanded
got
rush.
to create some chances at some point.
Yeah, they're not coming easy for them tonight.
The PK looks as it should for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, gave up that 1 goal, but overall it's been fine.
Especially against a good power 29%.
Play. Yeah, good power play.
They have Buffalo Saturday. How's Buffalo doing?
They're kind of in that like mid-world too, right?
They've been a team of streaks.
Yeah, they're around 500.
Win 3, lose 3, win 3. They lost their last game, so that bodes well for the Flyers.
I don't think. Yeah, looking at that replay, I don't think Sanheim got it knocked away. I think he just mishandled.
He just lost it.
I think he pushed it a little too far. Just a bit too far to catch it with his backhand. Apparently, the Eagles are down 7-0 now.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Oh.
The 7th shot of the game ties the score.
Unreal.
At 2-2 with 1:12 left.
Well,
Travis Konechny comes through. They're down in the shot battle by 20.
All that stretching out. I guess it worked out for him.
Finally.
Who makes that pass? Noah Cates.
Cates?
Nice pass. Noah Cates with the stretch pass to Konechny, and you knew once he got the breakaway he was going to finish it.
Yes,
because that's just hockey.
That's his thing.
Well, it's not even that. It's just hockey. Like, they've been getting killed so badly in this game. Of course he was going to score.
Was that shorthanded?
No,
the penalty expired?
They
I believe the penalty
killed
expired.
The penalty, yeah. They killed it.
And in a game where they've done nothing, they can win.
Yeah, they're right in
This is...
So Konechny now, this is obviously game 17. It's not over yet. He now has 9 goals and 9 assists, 18 points in 17 games. He's on a point-per-game pace, over a half goal per game pace. I mean, we're talking about like him pacing right now to be 40 goals, 80-something points. Pretty good.
I think he has a shot at Team Canada.
He's definitely in the mix.
It's Canada.
I don't think he makes it just because of how insanely deep that team is up front,
especially forward.
Plus, they've decided apparently they need to put Tom Wilson on the team for reasons. So, like, that's one spot that could have went to a Konechny on the bubble. That no, we need the big dude because it just makes everybody feel better if we have the big dude. I don't think so, but he certainly should be in consideration. He's good enough to be in consideration, absolutely.
I think it was the whatever game was on ESPN, probably the game Mish was scratched from. The
when
first
they
one,
were like,
Tampa.
just trying desperately
Yeah.
to find for things to talk about.
Yeah, because Cooper's the Team Canada coach,
Right,
so it was
right.
like, and they're like, well, maybe you want to bring in a guy who can like play a role for you, and it was like, listen, it's Canada. It will not surprise me at all if he doesn't make it, and it's not a snub. Nobody who doesn't make Canada was snubbed. It's
Yeah.
just Canada.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Nathan McKinnon doesn't make it. It's like, what are we doing here? But beyond that, it's Canada. But it was like,
Yeah.
he's a point-a-game player for like almost 3 years now.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's a superstar, but he's not a role player.
No, he 100%. He should at the very least be like on the whiteboard when they're talking about options. Like he deserves that. The one thing that could, and I don't think it's gonna be enough to get him on the team. But the one thing that could work in his favor
Penalty kill.
is the penalty kill.
Yeah.
because
And I realize
if-
that's what they were saying.
Yeah, but if it's a team of superstars, like
Yeah.
you maybe want the guy who scores all the shorthanded goals, and can also score at a point per game at the rest of the situations too. Well, that's the end of the period, folks. Flyers are somehow not losing this game.
am baffled by what we are seeing right now.
They've been
Flyers
outshot 28-7,
unofficially 28-7.
Yet the score is tied 2-2 because Travis Konechny scored a breakaway goal with time running down. Ivan Fedotov, very clearly the number one star of this game. He's been very good.
26 saves so far for Ivan Fedotov.
Yep.
I don't know if he had that many in his first 3 games combined. And now he's looking kind of
boy.
normal. So we will be back with
Pretty
you
normal.
for the third period on this Coors Light watch along. Make sure you are stocked up on Coors Light. Go to CoorsLight.com/PHLY hockey to get it delivered or to find a store near you. And maybe check in on the Eagles watch along while we're away. But we will be back for the third period as well as post game. So stay right here on the PHLY YouTube page no matter what. Until the third, that's Charlie. I'm Bill. Let's go Flyers. Welcome back, fam. It is time for the third period of the Flyers Sens Watch Along, brought to you by our friends at Coors Light. Crack an ice cold Coors Light. Choose chill for this third period. As somehow, some way, this game is tied, Charlie.
I don't know.
The Flyers have 7 shots on goal. The Sens have 28. And here we are, 2-2 in the third period with a chance to win on the road against one of the most ridiculous teams in the league in Ottawa, honestly. I just hate them so much.
I know you do. I know. William. I know.
As the puck is down, but we already have a immediate violation, and so they drop it again. And here we go.
No, we're
Third
off.
period underway.
We are off. You know, if you're the Flyers, and who knows what was said in that room, you got to look at this as a golden opportunity because you don't deserve to be.
No, it
You
should be
should-
5-0.
Yeah, you should be losing by at least 2 goals, if not more. And the fact that you could play as poorly as you did for almost the entirety of the first 40 minutes and it's still tied, it is a brand new game. Like, you have to look at this as, okay, wipe the slate clean. That was embarrassing, but we're in it. And all we need to do is win a game.
Win a period, win a game. And listen, it looks as if Ottawa right back to back to dominating the zone
Possessing
time.
the puck, yeah.
But they have to. You would think the Flyers would be encouraged by not the way they've played, but the way these 40 minutes have gone.
Yeah.
You'd come out with a little something here. Not the case thus far, but I do have to point out, Ivan Fedotov, 26 of 28 through 40 minutes. He's been the best player on the ice for the Flyers.
Not wrong.
It's really, really impressive the way he has bounced back from his start. I know there were some people who were maybe not as pessimistic about him after the first couple of games who were like, listen, Sam Ersson was in like the 700s through 3 games last year.
True.
Maybe give him a little bit more than a couple of games. And like we said all off season, really tough to hold those games from last year against him when it was like, he obviously shouldn't have been in the NHL.
Yeah.
And now maybe they have a little something.
Maybe he's figured it out.
Yeah.
Maybe he's at least got a handle on the NHL to the point where he can be a solid goalie. Like, I don't think any of us are, especially after the way he started his career, I don't think any of us are expecting him to be a star, a guy who's going to carry the load. All he needs to do is be passable. And this game, he's been better than passable. I would say Tampa, he was better than passable. Maybe there's a degree of just natural regression, you know, where he wasn't as bad as he looked those first few games. He's not as good as he looks now. But the thing is that we watched those games.
Yeah.
He was as bad as he looked.
Yeah.
He has gotten better.
There wasn't bad. Like maybe a couple, you're like, okay, well, the team let him down.
They
He's
did.
letting in goals that I thought hit him in the logo.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it
I
does.
thought he had a hole in him. I was worried about his health.
It does seem like he's made legitimate technical improvements to his play. And good for him. Now, see if he can hold it. But so far, look, the Flyers have gotten outshot 29-7, and they're tied because the goalie has stopped 27 out of 29. Can't ask for a lot better
It's
than that.
really hard to ask out of what was, a week ago, your third goalie?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That wasn't that long ago. And it does make it, and we'll talk about this in postgame. Make sure you stay tuned for postgame because we're doing that too, fam. Like, maybe we play it a little safe with Ersson and have a little continue the preseason competition into November.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that, especially if it's a recurrence of the previous injury, which it sure seems like it probably is based on, you know, general circumstantial evidence. Yeah, give him a little bit of time.
And if it's a
I get it.
groin, like
They're tricky.
We've all been watching hockey long enough to know a goalie's groin injury can last all season.
Yeah, they're tricky
It
injuries.
can just kind of pop up at some point.
Definitely tricky injuries.
And
to
if
be
you
sure.
want your groin to pop, no, still don't have them as a sponsor tonight.
So they definitely made some line adjustments. Obviously, it appears that they kept that line. I don't even know if that was an intentional line or if that was just a line coming off of a penalty, but they kept that Cates, Forster, TK line together for the first shift of the third. Looked like they kept the Frost, Michkov, Richard line together.
Almost
that
landed that hip check.
Frost trying to lay a
Frost,
hip
yeah.
check? You know what? I respect the
Try
effort. I
something.
do.
Yeah.
That's not your game, dude. You're just not that good.
What
at
is
that.
his game at this point?
Yeah,
That's the
fair point.
problem.
That's a fair point.
After the first, he was second to last on the team in ice time, at least among the forwards. I think he's moved up considerably since then.
Frost.
Yes.
They had some power play time.
They did.
So that probably
he's
helped
at
him.
9:49 now, which is more than a couple seconds more than Mish, a little more than Farabee, Brink, and Richard. So he's in the mix.
He's pushed down there.
Middle six.
Yeah. Yeah, so now they got Paling with Farabee. I mean, my assumption, and I don't think it's incorrect, is that they're looking at it as, Forrester, Cates are two of the only forwards that have had anything in this game, and TK's one of the only forwards that, like, even when he's playing bad,
He
can have
can-
a shift like
can
that. where
pop
he
in a
score-
goal.
Yeah.
So only so many guys on this team that you're like, well, he could
Yeah.
score at any time.
Yeah, it looks like you got Hathaway with
Oh.
Farabee and Paling. Who was that who took that shot? Because that is not Farabee.
Farabee, I think.
Yeah,
I think that got him on the foot.
Yeah, that looked
Would've been-
that looked painful. I mean, he's toughing it out,
Yeah.
but that
He needs to get off the ice. They
Yeah.
need to stop.
well, I don't well,
And they score.
and they score. Well, hopefully Farabee's okay, but Flyers certainly aren't. That's rough. I mean, you end up with
basically
basically a
5-on-4.
power play because Farabee, he's hobbled.
But it just comes down to
Have the puck more.
we're almost 5 minutes into this period. They don't have a shot yet.
Yeah, like have the puck more. This is what happens when you never have the
You
puck.
spend enough time in your D zone, you're going to take a penalty or give up a shot
Yeah.
that goes in.
Yeah, a lot of traffic.
A lot of traffic
Just
there.
missed it. Yeah.
Aye.
Yeah, probably could have got a save. I mean, it's tough because there's traffic, but I think that hit him, and there's a part of it where it's like, hey, if it hits you, find a way to squeeze it.
And also, unless he lets in literally every shot this period, I'm not blaming this game on him.
That's very fair.
Have double-digit shots by the 5-minute mark of the third period.
That's
I don't think that's asking for too much.
That's a really good point.
Especially considering you scored on 2 of 7.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It seems like a throw it at the net kind of night.
Yeah.
You've lulled him into a false sense
Well,
of
there's
security
one.
here. There you go. Forster, who actually has had a strong game battling. Still battling. Just get stick on stick. Come on.
Yeah, they got to be forcing turnovers quicker.
You got to be more aggressive.
Yeah. Yeah, as John Tortorella says, you got to kill plays. Kill plays quicker. So Michkov is with Lawton now. And
Not a Michkov does want to have.
Lawton and Tippett. I mean, sure, whatever.
Yeah, well, I mean, at this point.
Yeah.
Mish is one of the forwards with a shot on goal tonight.
Huh.
2. He
Man,
actually
he's,
leads.
He's flying.
Mish and Forster co-leaders with 2.
Oh, there's 3.
That we might be
Now he's got a third.
behind enough for that to be.
Oh, maybe that was that
I
one.
think that was the one.
Got it. Yeah, I was going to say, I only remember the one.
Yeah. Yeah. Mishkov 2, Forster 2, Konechny 1, and then we get to the defenseman. Sanheim 2, Sealer 1, Bristow 1. Not a recipe for winning.
Oh, yeah, they're slowing this down.
I mean, that's a hell of a shot.
Yeah,
he
it's
needs to stop it. But
It's a great shot. There's traffic. I mean, yeah, you would ideally want to save, but that's a difficult play. It's fair. And again, as you said, given the onslaught he's been facing, I don't know, give the guy some help.
seems to be getting a little pushback here, but just can't get one over there.
Yeah.
9 shots on goal. They are threatening to break double digits.
Looking dangerous out there, William.
Is that Brink?
That's a play though where I don't know, just get it on goal. Get it on goal. You got a guy charging the net. Try to get a rebound, especially when you're not getting many shots. Just test it. I don't know.
They are really struggling. I think that's the frustrating part of it because, Oh, jeez. What are you doing? Was that on purpose?
No,
I don't think it was.
I think he just missed it.
Like, after all that time, that's what we do?
No, it worked.
Ah,
I
it kind
got
of
an entry out of it.
Yeah. Wow. This is going to lead to a goal, and I'm going to feel like an ass.
Nah, well, Farabey's back out there. He's okay. Just a stinger, I guess.
I used to play men's league it was a whole bunch of firefighters and EMTs and stuff.
Okay.
And my buddy, who I know has torn his ACL at least 2 other times.
Hey, they broke double digits.
Hey!
Hey!
He goes knee to knee with somebody, and he's
Okay.
down, and he's like in a ton of pain.
Okay.
And one of my teammates is like, he's fine. It's just a stinger. It's like, I've seen him do this twice before. He tore his ACL. He's like, nah, just a stinger.
Just a stinger.
Next day, just sends us the MRI. Yeah, I tore my ACL.
Oh God, poor guy. So now just a stinger is a joke.
Every
with you and your
time
friends? Yeah.
someone has a serious injury, it's like, just a stinger.
Just a stinger. That's all.
Someone's mom has a heart attack. Yeah, it's
Just
just
a
a stinger.
stinger. Oh my God, that's dark.
The frustrating part of this is we thought we were through it.
Yeah, I really
Like,
did. I thought that, I wasn't sure if they were going to start winning games, like a ton of games.
They're not
but
very good.
I thought the process was getting better, and we're back to mostly this, which was what it was the first, 3.5 weeks of the year.
I've been tracking just shots on goal by period for this team, and it's, again, something we'll get into in post-game, but for most of the month of October, they really struggled to get double-digit shots in any period, let alone like multiple times.
Okay.
Then we get to the Bruins game. They get shut out. No good. Canes game started well, and then the final 40 minutes went to hell. Panthers, 11-13-7. Sharks, I know it's the Sharks, 11-14-16.
Yeah.
Process.
That's more like
Process
it.
improvement.
Yeah.
Tonight, 3-4, and here we are in the third period. They probably already have 3.
Yeah, they're at 3 because they're at 10 now.
Yeah.
10 shots on goal.
It's just, I thought that the games would just be more watchable.
Yeah, so did I. And it's not even just the watchability, although obviously that's important to us because we have to watch the games. But it's just the fact that, like, again, you want to see that general upward trajectory.
So many, I realize, like, it's all about Mish, and Mish has, for the most part, looked good this season. It's at least a building block in his rookie year, teenager, etc. But some of these guys are going to be here.
Yeah.
Like, we need some of them to turn out and be better than what they are right now. And like we said, development isn't linear. Maybe Tyson Forster just having a bad start. Maybe it's just a bad year, and he'll be great next year. Who knows? But we need some of these dudes to turn out.
Yeah.
And it's discouraging. It's a discouraging first 17 games.
Discouraging is it's a really good word to use.
In terms of building towards something down the line, it's discouraging.
Yeah, it's fair. Discouraging, I think, is the perfect word to use, William. Good job.
I got a good job from Charlie. It's going in my scrapbook.
Claude Giroux versus Scott Lawton on the faceoff.
Lawton's coming for those 1,000 games, G.
He's coming for your records.
He's going to pass Clark, I'm telling you.
Lawton?
Yeah. At least all around. Like, he'll pass Clark's games played as player, coach, GM. He's the next one, man. I'm telling you. Scott Lawton.
The next general manager.
Here for life.
I don't think he has... Maybe I could be wrong. I mean, I think Lawton absolutely would love to be, like playing in the alumni games and, having a house here and all that stuff. I don't know if he's the kind of guy that would like have designs on being a GM, but who knows? And there's a penalty. Who knows? Maybe if you told people, in the 70s that Paul Holmgren was going to be a general manager, they would have laughed at you.
Keith
I don't
Jones.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, but that coming?
Yeah, but he's not a GM.
He's the president.
Yeah, but he's not like making the hockey decisions.
All right, that's fair.
And Jonesy always, like, we all knew when we were watching Jonesy as a player that he was going to be on TV.
Yeah.
Just like people knew that, like, Rona.
He is a personality still. Just it's not television. It's something else.
Yes, exactly. Whereas, I don't know. I mean, and I like Scott Lawton a lot. He's one of my favorite guys on the team to cover. I don't know if he's the kind of guy who just, like, even wants that. like who wants the role of, that much work. It's a lot of work to be a general manager.
Oh, it certainly is now. Like, you think about the path Danny took. Like, they sent him to business school.
Yeah.
They sent him to the ECHL.
Yeah.
He had to work with Chuck Fletcher, which I'm sure was a wonderful time.
Chuck Fletcher is a very nice man.
He certainly is. He is
Hockey
a
NHL
decent-
general manager.
decent man.
But yeah, he's very, very nice guy. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Lawton would. The one guy who I think actually would have interest, like just in talking to him, and he very well might end up playing a lot of games for the Flyers, Sanheim. I could see Sanheim being like, I'd like to get into management after.
Is he the player rep?
Yes.
I
Now
thought
he is.
so.
Now he is. Yeah.
That's JVR's going.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't do a ton of the work this summer. I think Noah Cates did a lot of it, but that was because he was in the process of getting married. He basically asked Cates, like, can you handle a lot of this while I'm dealing with marriage stuff? But Sanheim is one guy who, like, I could see him wanting to get into management after his career is done. I could see him having that kind of interest. And it's not like, I don't think Scott Lawton's a dumb guy. I just think he would, like, once he's done, he's like, I'm just going to chill. Like, I want to just, like,
Be
hang
rich
out
somewhere.
Yeah. Hang out and play in alumni games and drink beers
I
with the
understand
boys.
that these guys are like the utmost competitors. Like, they've been doing this their whole
Ooh,
lives.
nice hit.
So, like, when it's over, it's like, well, what the hell do I do now? I guess that's the difference. One of the main differences between me and them is, like, I would be so elated to be done. Like, oh man,
Yeah.
A couple of contracts in, I'd be like, I'm good, man.
I'm good. Yeah.
A private island, not as expensive as you think.
I mean, if you get the right spot.
It's
Ooh,
that
well,
was pretty dirty.
That was a nice goal.
That was.
Jeez.
Is that
Yeah,
another
that
power
was-
play goal?
Yeah, it's a power play goal. That was gorgeous. And that
All right.
should just about do it.
4-2 now.
Hey, you know what? Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? But that was a nice level good at.
Just over the halfway point of the third period. You give a 29% power play enough opportunities, this is what's going to happen.
You're not wrong.
And they did.
Yep, you're not wrong. Yeah.
Good puck movement. Oh,
No, it's good. And then right here, he just finds a lane.
go back to the open
Gets
man.
right around.
Yep.
Who's that? Sealer? Yeah, Sealer. And then boom.
He gets caught in between three different guys.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
when they're moving the puck that well, guys are gonna lose their spots. It
Hard to
happens.
defend.
Yeah. Again, take that many penalties, have the puck this little
Never-
amount of time.
Yeah. Frost, I need you to, like, dive for that. Like, try to put it in
You're
with
like,
your
give me a little
face.
bit more urgency.
Literally
here.
anything. Oh, Christ.
Oh, oh, that this is the Fedotov that. Yeah.
I mean,
No, I'm not blaming. I'm saying that little play
Yeah,
where he just got
like,
completely
the puck hops
discombobulated.
his stick as he's trying to.
Oh!
Oh my God! It's 4-3 somehow. This
It's
is
Tony Dick.
Tony Dick does it again.
Anthony Richard somehow gets it through Olmark, and it's a game again.
This is. Is this fixed?
William, I am so glad that
We
I
hit
got
our
to,
over.
that I got to watch an Anthony Richard goal with you.
I am elated for my guy. These are the dudes because, like, Kelly and I grew up going.
that's a weak goal.
That's rough.
That is a really weak goal.
He gave up 2 on 7 shots. Maybe
That's
throw
fair.
some more towards the net.
Like, you got to squeeze that one.
Yeah, that's rough. But
Yeah,
like,
Brink's gonna get the primary.
Kelly and I grew up going to Phantoms games, and, like, these are the guys I root for. Like,
Yeah,
the
fair.
Quad A guys, as we've always called them.
Yeah,
Like
fair.
the Mike Maniloks. Like, yeah, man, you won the MVP of the Calder Cup playoffs.
Yeah, he was in a
and you're a
playoff
third liner,
playoff
maybe.
MVP.
Yeah, like maybe you're
Mike
a third
Manilock.
liner.
That's a name. How are the Flyers still in this game? How?
They've never had the puck. They have 11 shots. There's 9 minutes left.
Wild.
They are. Are we gonna? I have a prediction.
What's
Fourth straight shootout.
Oh God, it would for a while.
Our watch-alongs always go overtime.
Post game, and
Yeah.
this will go into a shootout,
Obviously.
just to torture us, just to make it an even longer stretch.
We're gonna start counting the hour for post game in overtime if that happens. Brian. We're gonna. The Phillies did that, right?
Like, Britta, just switch it. Just switch it to post game.
Our Phillies show did that, didn't they? They would, like, start the post game.
Yeah, they would have post game while the
in,
game
like,
was
the
still
8th
going
inning.
on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely would do that on occasion. You're right.
I think we would have sponsorship issues with that.
I think you're probably right. Got to give.
Don't worry, Vince. I'm not going to do
give
it.
the people what they want.
All they want is more Charlie.
Yeah, that's what they want.
Is that in his glove?
It's out there.
I thought that fell into his glove like the palm.
For TK to get that pass, he must have been cherry picking like crazy.
Yes, that looked like a clear. Like, I'll take the ice.
How far was he cheating?
I will take the icing, and he's just standing
He's
there.
right there.
I wanted to say, after TK's goal, I know he started his career with a real rough percentage on shootouts, but now he's like 2 or 3 this year. He's like starting to do well.
It's helping.
He finishes an insane number of his breakaways.
It does. Yeah. No, he's got a wide array of moves, to be sure.
It seems like he has 2, and they don't see it coming.
No,
I thought that was off. We have a tie game, folks, with 7:15 remaining. The score is 4-4 on the Flyers' 12th shot.
That was
shot.
all Anthony Richard as well. He shoots for a
Tony
rebound.
Dick
shooting for a rebound. Brink pops it in. Tie game.
Am baffled. That gives me a minute to tell you, if you want to see this team in person, there's no better time to do it than Saturday, January 11th for our sweet takeover at the Wells Fargo Center. Join Charlie, Bill, and the PHLY Flyers.
And Cutter Gauthier.
And Cutter Gauthier. Maybe he'll probably be a scratch by then. We have tickets available at allphly.com. It's a great deal. You get tickets in a suite with us. They are just gonna food and drink all night in the suite. I have like 3 different events in my head that I'm trying to draw on which are which. The takeover includes game ticket in a suite, food and drink all night, and of course the vibes of hanging out with me and Charlie. And I'm pretty sure Kelly's going to be there. It's going to be a great time. allphly.com/event, or just go to allphly, click events. I don't know what the.
There we go. So looking at that goal again on replay, Olmark is blowing this game because that was one like he could have caught that in his glove. He just missed it. Like that shot from Richard, the one that creates the rebound. He has his glove out and he just basically whiffs on it. I think it either closed it too soon or just misplayed it, and the puck obviously bounces right to Brink. He shouldn't have given up these last 2 goals. Like, props to the Flyers for, I guess, battling through it and finding a way. But like, this game is on Olmark.
Perhaps this was the strategy. Lull Olmark to sleep. Rope-a-dope him.
Yeah.
Give up for yourself. At least we took the over tonight, folks.
Yeah.
I don't think Claude Giroux has a point yet, but we do have our over, so that's nice. How are we looking in this? Still 7-0?
Still 7-0, but Birds are driving. 1 minute left in the first half.
Oh, they're crediting Brink with that goal.
Well, yeah, no, it was definitely Brink's goal.
Oh, I was still thinking about the last. Yep.
Yeah.
You're right. Yep.
Yeah. No, it was definitely Brink's goal.
Yeah.
But Richard's going to get the primary because it was his shot. But
So
Olmark should have squeezed the 5-hole on the 3rd goal and then should have caught the Richard shot on the 4th goal. Like, again, not taking anything away from the Flyers, making an epic comeback in a game where they've otherwise played like crap. But like, if you're an Ottawa fan right now, you have to be livid at Olmark.
Oh my God.
Livid.
Especially since, like, again, it's early. But he's the answer for them. It's like, okay, well, now we got our goalie, and since we have all this high-end talent, and we keep missing the playoffs because of stupid stuff, he solves our problem. And he doesn't. At least not yet.
So far, so bad.
So that gives him, that makes Anthony Richard a point-a-game player.
Hey-o!
4 points in 4 games.
I love it.
Some guys break out late. Richard turns 28 on December 20th. Maybe this is our diamond in the rough guy.
Maybe. I mean, hey, that means he's younger than Ivan Fedotov.
There you go. Yeah, Fedotov turns 28 like next week or something.
Yeah, right. It's like early December or like late November, something like that.
November 28th.
think-
Yeah.
Wait,
Fedotov is November 28th.
November 28th.
Yeah.
I think you said December 28th.
No.
I'm like, wait a minute. That doesn't sound right. Well, We're going to a shootout, aren't we?
It's definitely going to happen. I want to know. We did a watch along for the opener, right? And that went to a shootout.
Sure did.
What was the other one we did, Bren? Do you remember? I think I have the schedule over here. Let me see. It was October 29th. What happened on that day? I bet they went to overtime. That was a 2-0 win against the Bruins. So, okay. We have one regulation game.
That's another terrible rebound. Just shoot on this guy. He has no confidence whatsoever. Like, just put shots on this guy. He is going to give up another goal.
In a game of Ivan Fedotov against former Vezina winner Linus Ullmark, if you would think one of the strategies for one of the teams was just shoot it anywhere.
Yeah.
It would not be the Flyers.
It would not be the Flyers, but lo and behold, it is. Because, Ullmark looks like a mess. That was not a threatening shot from Forrester there, and he could not even come close to holding it. Put pucks on that and be rewarded. Especially now. Don't give him a chance to settle, at the end of regulation. Just fire from anywhere if you can get in the offensive zone, that is. This is really funny, though, this Richard situation. They're not going to be able to send him down either.
How do you do it? Especially considering John Tortorella said the words. What does he have to do? He has to score.
He has to score. Well, he's scored.
Point a game.
And when the whole team isn't scoring.
When the whole team refuses to score.
Yeah. What are the choices? Yeah, I mean, with Fedotov, I would assume one question is now Kolosov is probably going down. Because Fedotov, at least now, looks like an NHL goalie. Hasn't been perfect tonight, but he's looked like an NHL goalie. He certainly hasn't hurt them. Made some big saves when they were getting utterly decimated in this game. But that's only one. You're going to have to clear up 2 spots for Drysdale and York when both are back. So you clear up 1 spot by sending the goalie down. It's going to be interesting. And I guess they won't be able to make that goalie thing if Erson's banged up, So they're going to have some roster gymnastics in their hands over the next week or so. Be very interesting to see how they pull it off. But hey, do I think Anthony Richard's going to keep this up? Probably not. But right now, he's scoring.
Hathaway almost with a chance alone in the slot.
Right now, he's producing goals.
They don't ask how, they ask how many, Charlie.
Well, they can't. I mean, beggars can't be choosers. Right?
This team can never ask how. If Giroux were to forget what team he's playing on and turn around and shoot it, it'd be like, yeah, we got one.
There we go. Well, Konechny almost did that last game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really nice chance on Erson.
Oh. Konechny with a feed to Farabee.
It was a nice pass.
Just got through him. This line isn't bad.
No, Cates has had his moments tonight, to be sure. He had that really good stretch pass. He had the good pass setting up the first goal of the game, too, in that sequence. So he's been okay. Look, the Flyers are Ottawa-ing Ottawa.
Where was this?
The whole game. Good question.
Why are they capable of just figuring it out?
It's hockey. It's such a momentum game. They're just feeling it now. And they're not even playing that well. But at least they're creating something. And given the way that Ullmark has played, that's all they needed to do.
In the first 40 minutes, they had 7 shots. In this less than 18 minutes, they have 9. It's unbelievable.
And I guess, one thing you do have to say, looking at these numbers, and they're not good for the Flyers. The Flyers have been outplayed, obviously.
Yes.
However, fair to point out that right now, the Flyers are only losing the high danger scoring chance battle at 5-on-5. They're only losing it 5-2. With all of that possession time that Ottawa's had, they've only created 5 high danger chances at 5-on-5. They've played poorly. They have barely had the puck. However, they've done a pretty good job protecting the home plate area defensively.
In the first period, we noted they really didn't look like they were defending the slot, the middle, all that well.
They got better.
And then in the start of the second, I was like, well, they're clogging it up.
Yeah.
They're taking away. And you've seen the goals since then. It's through traffic. It's been some tough angles and stuff. I have no idea how to evaluate this game.
I mean, the Flyers
they
are
have
not playing
played well.
They're not playing
No.
well. I'm just saying that I expected the Senators, given the amount of puck possession time they've had, to have more extremely dangerous chances, and they haven't had that many. And that does speak to what the Flyers are doing in the defensive zone. Now, it also speaks to how little they've had the puck, but there are different aspects of defensive zone play, and so far they've done a pretty good job of keeping the Senators out of the most dangerous areas of the ice. They have.
2:47 left here in the third. We're all tied at 4-4. Because why wouldn't we be? This is
every game for the rest of the year is going to go to a shootout, William.
It really might, and I'm fine with
the
that.
Flyers are the new Islanders.
I love the shootout.
I don't have anything like against the shootout aside from two things. Number one, the Flyers stink at it. Number two, maybe not anymore. Number two, it's just like the game makes the game so much longer and makes my job tough.
Well, yeah.
Because then I have to be up until 3 a.m. Like that's truthfully what I dislike the most about the shootout. Like give me a game that wraps up at 9:30. I can be out of the arena by 10:30 and can hopefully be done my story by like 1 or 2. That's just from my perspective. So it's not like I hate the shootout on principle. I hate the shootout pragmatically. Because I will get more sleep if there isn't a shootout.
I mean, at this point, we're seeing an Ottawa team that has been go all night, thinking if we don't get out of this with a point, Jesus Christ. Like,
yeah, it's fair.
They are.
It's a fair point.
Which, again, it just, I guess we have to give them credit for battling.
All right. Eagles got a field goal at least.
Oh, that's nice.
Although they might let the Commanders right back in a field goal range to extend the lead again.
Minute 25 left here in the third. No, I'm not going to check the box to see a spoiler.
Nah.
I'm going to continue watching this with all of you. And thank all of you who've been with us all night. It seems as if we'll be going into overtime in this Coors Light watch along.
Sure looks like
Check
it.
out CoorsLight.com/PHLY hockey. We love our friends at Coors Light. We love Choose and Chill.
What's Fedotov doing?
Fedotov handling the puck behind the net with about a minute left here. And
There's Claude Giroux.
Yeah. Giroux just wreaking havoc back there.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy.
Now it's almost like, why are we going to spoil it? It's funnier if this goes to overtime. Where the hell is it? Okay.
What, did the Senators just like look at each other on the bench and are like, are we going to lose this
They're
game?
just like, oh.
Are we going to lose this game?
They're
probably
the
should do
only
this.
people more baffled than us are the Senators
Yeah,
right now.
Probably.
Like, what the hell happens? We've been killing them. Uh-oh. Oh!
Huge
Did
Fedotov save.
I think he made that save.
He definitely made that save. He kicked the leg out.
I think he got around him, and he had to make the save. Uh-oh. Flyers with the... Okay. Here's something back. And that'll do it. 4-3.
They're going to get a point out of this one. Somehow.
The Flyers extend their point streak to 4 games.
Oh, boy.
They go... Is this a 4th straight shootout? Or
Yes.
a 4th straight overtime?
Yep. And the only one that didn't go in overtime was the game that ended with 30 seconds left. They came within 30 seconds of going to overtime. Is this just the Flyers this year?
This is incredible. Yeah, 3 straight shootouts for the Flyers.
Yeah, and then as I said, the one before that was the one
Carolina,
that was about to go in overtime.
This is great.
Is it, Bill?
It's great for us, so we have more time
To drink
to
Coors
talk
Light?
about our friends at Coors Light as we now head to the 3-on-3 overtime. Michkov time.
Is he even going to get a shift?
I hope so. I feel like we didn't see a ton of him.
He didn't. Well, he ends up with
12:53.
Eighth most minutes on the forward core. 12:53. So not a ton. They definitely leaned heavy on the Konechny, Cates, Forster trio in the third. Konechny finishes regulation with 21 minutes. Emil Andre, second in ice time on the defense to Travis Sanheim.
We got a super chat from Spiral Out. Great watch along, fellas. Been a wild game. Cheers. Cheers to you, Spiral Out. And I hope you're hanging with us for overtime, for the eventual shootout that we know is coming.
Of course.
And the post game as well, because why the hell wouldn't this happen on a night that we are not only up against an Eagles Thursday night game, but like 20 yards away, there is an Eagles watch along going on as well.
What are you going to do? We're trying our best here.
Speaking of PHLY events, I'd be remiss.
Such a weak goal.
Be remiss if I didn't tell you about the Sixers watch party and live show tomorrow, also presented by Coors Light at Tiernanog. Check out allphly.com.
Tiernanog's a fun place.
It is. Check out allphly.com right now.
It's right near Suburban Station.
It is. Flyers. Get
Overtime has begun.
Yep.
Yeah, Travis Konechny with a nice little early chance. So Allmark showed he can actually still stop a puck.
A little surprising.
A bit surprising, yeah. Now the Senators are like, hey, let's go back to what we were doing well most of this game, having the puck the whole time.
It seemed it was an effective strategy.
It was
for
working
them.
pretty well. Apparently not well enough, though.
Hockey.
Noah Cates getting a overtime shift. Got to say that's not normal, but he's been one of the few guys to play well.
And
so
they
sure.
just only have so many centers.
Yeah, you're not
Someone
wrong.
has to take the face.
You're not wrong.
What the hell?
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
It's still out.
Somehow stays out. Fedotov reverting to
That appears to be the new Fedotov
early
thing.
Fedotov.
The new Fedotov
Tippett
thing
with
is
one that takes
getting
off.
caught way out of his net,
Yeah,
like off to the side of the post.
just
It's happened
out
quite a few
for
times.
out for a little walk.
Yeah. All right, 2-on-1.
Numbers
3
if
on
they
1.
hurry.
Missed.
All you have to do is basically not miss against this guy right now.
Oh, Michkov did get a shift.
There we go.
So
I mean, he has to. I mean, Torts doesn't have to. Do
yeah,
anything.
Torres doesn't have to do anything. Don't tell Torres he's got to do something.
There's no rule that he even has to put 3 guys out there.
I mean, maybe he would only put 2 just
Hoosier style.
just
I got
prove a
my
point.
team. Tony Dick getting a overtime
Anthony
shift.
Richard, Emil Andre, and Morgan Frost.
I
This
love
trio.
it. That is it. 3 Phantoms legends.
That's cruel.
It is.
Oh, and Fedotov.
Fedotov comes up huge. I don't think he ever saw it.
He
threw his-
lunged.
He threw his glove in the other direction.
He
but
lunged.
it hit him.
I feel like a goalie with better anticipation might not have had to lunge that obviously, but he made the stop and he made it look good while he was doing it.
Be
so
huge,
sure.
guy. You know, we're not
Yeah,
asking
be real
a ton
big.
from you.
No, Fedotov has been good in this game. To be sure.
He's absolutely been one of the best Flyers tonight. Now, again, 18 shots.
18 shots. Oh,
Uh-oh.
boy. Oh, nice defense there.
Ah! Well, he's still catching up.
Yeah, barely.
And he goes off.
Nope. Sanheim, Farabee, Brink now.
Finally get that loose. Oh, I really thought that had interception
That
going
transition
the other way,
rush.
written all over
Yeah,
it.
had a chance.
Minute 45 left in the OT. Oh!
Makes
Big save off the mask, and then he covers it up to Ivan Fedotov.
Just be big. Just be big.
You're 6'9" or whatever the hell you are. Like, take up as much of the net as possible.
It's going to go in a shootout.
There's not a doubt in my mind.
Unreal. Oh, I don't even know if Fedotov saved that. That might have been Michkov. He definitely stopped this one.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the one that he gets a good cranium carom there. What is this? Risto misplays it.
Turnstile a little bit there. That was old Risto.
Wins a battle, though.
Yeah, it got done. Didn't look good, but it happened. The other two guys are changing. TK will get some help from Michkov.
Mish is out there. I thought I heard a whistle. I was like, there's no way that was offside. Mish wins it! He finally gets an angle goal to go, and he wins it in overtime.
See, but he understood. This guy can't stop
He can't.
anything. Just put the puck on net.
Allmark might need to take a week off after this game. Go see somebody.
This game was Cal Peterson-esque from Linus
I can't
Ullmark.
believe what I just saw. Michkov wins it in overtime. The Flyers, do they even get 20 shots on goal in this one?
Oh my God. This is such a weak goal. This is Ullmark cheating. He didn't seal the post.
He has
That's
been
wild.
And not to mention,
So bad.
Not to mention, Mish hasn't been shy about doing this.
No. It's one of
That's
his
got to
things.
be on the scouting report. He's going to try to get you short side. And I've been saying now.
Yep. You should see. He couldn't even break his stick.
And it doesn't even break.
That's the kind of night that Linus Ullmark had.
Oh my God.
He tries to break his stick on the post, and it doesn't even break.
The Flyers
what a metaphor.
outshot 36-19.
Ayo.
Win the game 5-4 in overtime off the Michkov. Tough angle shot. He gets the overtime winner. We will be back in just a moment to wrap it all up for you in postgame. This has been the Coors Light Watch Along. Make sure you go to CoorsLight.com/PHLY hockey. Make sure you're choosing chill. Man, I gotta toast Linus Ullmark. Congratulations. You certainly chose chill tonight. And we'll be back to wrap this up in just a moment on the postgame. Stay tuned for that. Until then, I'm Bill. That's Charlie. Drink Coors Light. Let's go Flyers.
We all silly like the mayor.